Hey everyone. I am so sorry. I could not get this microphone to connect for anything. Can we put a 1? Is my sound okay? Is it too loud? Is it all the things? Because I can't tell. I don't even know what we're connected to for sound right now, but we're here. It's okay? Okay. Oh, I was going crazy trying to fix that. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I've never had this happen. I don't even know what mic I'm connected to right now, to be honest. I think it might be, I don't know. It might be a camera mic. I have no idea. So hopefully the sound is okay. You guys aren't just putting ones just to entertain me here. But good morning to all of you. Hope everybody is having a great day. Hope you all had a great weekend. We tried to get in all the things we didn't get done through December, so that was nice. So many of you in here. Hello, hello, good morning. Happy to see all of you with me this morning. Audio is great. Oh, all right. Well, we'll have to figure out what the hell we're using. Good morning, everybody. Oh, what a weekend it has been. It is a different mic. I think we're connected to perhaps the camera mic. I have no idea. Thank you, Miss Mel Mel. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, PD. So I see everybody was quite busy over the weekend. The amount of insanity is never ending. Quite frankly, is concerning. I am beyond concerned with everything that is going on right now. It is let me get everything up over here. Sorry. All right, there we go. Get that up. Here we go. Get this up. Oh, can you recap what's going on the last few days? With my time difference, I've missed the overnight lives. Can hear you, but sound is different. Yeah. Hold on a second. I'm going to see what my sound sounds like because I don't even know where I'm coming from. Doohickey, thank you so much. That's really so sweet of you. I do appreciate that. It has been exhausting. So hold on. I'm gonna try to hear myself on the other just to see what the sound is like. Give me just a moment. Okay, so the sound is weird. I don't know what is going on. Uh, let me see if I move this. Because I don't know what we're connected to right now. So hold on. I have a feeling it's that. I have a feeling. I don't like this because I feel like the mic's right here, but I'm not speaking to the mic because I don't know where the freaking mic is. But I'm not going to mess around too much with it. It was hard enough to get it started. I don't want to feel like I'm yelling at you all, but I'm like kind of reaching for the air on where this mic is. So it must have been that. So if I can. So it's this mic. It is this mic. Okay. That's louder. Yeah. So it is definitely this mic. Hold on. That's better. You want me to be right in it? All right. We're just going to hook this mic to this mic and pretend we are using the mic. All right. That's better. Okay. Well, good morning. Did I just see somebody saying they're arguing about the cat? I love it. I love it. It doesn't matter what you do with these people. There will always be something. Chicken Fifi. So over the weekend, of course, more riddles and accusations pointed at people. They're not saying names, but they're giving implications based on states. And I don't know about all of you, but I am tired of it. I mean, this is serious, right? Like, this is a big deal. I know it's kind of, it's easy to laugh at it because it's like these guys are just so absolutely ridiculous. But it's not ridiculous. This is our lives, right? Like, there's some legitimate accusations taking place right now, and I don't appreciate them. Not only is it obvious who they're implicating, which would be myself, given what they alleged against me in a filing, but it has really gotten out of control. Thank you, Maleficent. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the 5 months. Kathy Bowersox had a mic drop with that post she put up. I was like, damn, Kathy, people should not be harassing her like that, but they do. Chilled, thank you so much. And Kraken, I didn't even see you, my girlfriend. Thank you. This has surpassed, right? Like, I get it. It's kind of entertaining for like all of us because it's like, oh, another riddle, another ridiculous. But at the end of the day, the accusations are directly pointed towards myself and others. And I know I'm not doing anything. And it is dangerous. It is absolutely dangerous. This is why I get, threats to my personal phone line. This is why I get emails threatening me. I'm not doing whatever it is they're claiming. And I'm quite frankly, I'm tired of it. And the mockery it is made of everything is ridiculous. I do appreciate that, Chica. I'm not going to lie. It's been a hard past few days, the holidays, the winter blues, all the things. Friday with the 36 months. Thank you so much, my friend. I miss you. I hope you're doing well. It's really good to see you. I don't find it entertaining at all. Either do I. Matter of fact, this is how aggravating I mean, let's just get right into it. So we got the know-it-all. The one and only, the only person in military history to ever turn down a Purple Heart, allegedly. It is, BS Detective. It is, believe me. Hiya, sweetie. I'm going to do a post on X at some point. I have significant proof that the emails are fake. The emails don't even match up. You are a Nimnod. The emails are sent to 4, 5, 6 different people. What do you mean they don't match up? Then she says the email from those screenshots doesn't match Castor's LinkedIn nor website email. LOL. It was very interesting, Julia, because if you held a 45-minute conversation with them, why do you care? Shouldn't that be your proof? Shouldn't that be the proof? But hold on, just a minute. Don't sweat yourself too much looking for that. Lord, I'll tell you. These people just want to keep pushing. I mean, if I spent 45 minutes speaking to an attorney and was reconfirmed that he is representing me, I could rest easy now that I'm telling the truth. But since that's not good enough, how about this? See below response from Attorney Castor to the motion to dismiss filing. Oh, don't mind if I do. Oh, could that be real? Is that real? Is that good enough, Julia? So what does this one say? Please note that I am not involved in this case, and any indication otherwise is in error. Mr. Lesniak is the plaintiff's counsel. I represent Mr. Chapman in a matter in Texas only. Evidently, that caused some confusion. If I was not clear about that sooner in the progress of this case, I regret that. There is no need to copy me on any correspondence. Thank you and have a great holiday. Regards. Call me a motherfucking liar again. I mean, this is my Gmail, correct? Shows right here. Shows my attorney right here telling me to see below. Does say right here. Is there any questions? Put a 1 in the chat if that's pretty clear. Oh, Ellie Webby, I appreciate you asking. If any of the mods are in here that happen to have the link, if not, I can log on through my phone. Of course they do, PD. Of course they do. So just so we're clear. Okay. Exactly. I mean, it just doesn't get any clearer than that. I'm not involved in this case, and any indication otherwise is in error. So that is, people are saying like, oh, well, he'd have to file a motion or preapicy, whatever the thing is. Yeah, if they were going to do it the right way. Do you think that people like this are doing it the right way? Huh. It's a good thing our attorneys are more worried about a courtroom than they are YouTube public opinion. I'll tell you that. I will tell you that. So I would stop while you were ahead, Julia. Ellie, I'm glad you found the link. Thank you for becoming a member. Welcome to the MFers. Good for you, Granny, showing all those receipts. Believes you anyway, but stick it to him with the proof. Yeah, I'm just over it. I'm just over it, to be honest. I think all of this has gone extremely too far. The implications of like, oh, people are doing mafia-like style things and rah, 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 rah. You know what? You might think that you were safe. You might think that you were safe because you were not directly accusing, but you have accused by placing me in this filing. And then you were saying things like, oh, one of the purposes in Pennsylvania. So am I back? So we had internet. We had high winds last night that took out power, the internet, all the things. everything's starting to reboot now, but basically it just keeps, I don't know what the hell's going on. But am I here? Oh, wait, you know what? Actually, I think we need to enter phase 2. Somebody try to take us out. Put a 2 in the chat if you're ready to enter phase 2. It is time to rally the troops. We are going into phase 2. They tried to steal our internet. We have been hacked. We need to go ahead and contact the motherfuckers in Australia because we need to be freed. I want to be free. Okay, we're here. We are, thank you. We are ready. We're going to phase 2. Can't tell me nothing. Just make sure I got this camera all the way back. Woo! We cannot be having. Facing front, facing back, facing all the way hell away from me. It is early in the morning. I don't know if it's aliens. It might be the mafia. Yeah, I'm going to be robot-y for a minute. I'm sorry. I'm waiting for it to reboost. She's not going to stop. She's going to keep calling out the BS and the hoax that they have going on. Yeah, I mean, it's become a problem. It's definitely a problem. I'm done with it. I'm over it. Australia says, great, go straight to phase 5. Wait, I kind of like 3. I do not yet, Ellie B. There's something should come up on the docket today. I'm keeping my eye out. Rapid response, rapid response. Thank you so much, Doohickey. I'm sorry. It's hysterical. All right. You know what? I did buy this cool little phone mic, but I'm not sure how it works. Let me see if it works. Let's see how that now it gives us an opportunity to play this. Let's see. We just saw the new Sonic movie and it was great. Give me 1 second to see if this mic works. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Oh, it's green. Okay. Hold on. Is it working? I don't know how this shit works. Let's go to settings. Let's go to audio. Speakerphone. No. It's not my fault they hacked us. Damn it. Internet is still out on me. Hold on a second. Thank you for tuning in to Granny's Ghetto stream this morning. It is now up and operating. Give me just 1 second. Hello, hello. Okay. All right, I'll be right back. Let's see if we can get this to work. We're playing peekaboo this morning. Hello. All right, now that phase 2 is activated, I'm going to need all the Power Rangers to unite. But seriously, that's about as ridiculous as this feels, isn't it? I mean, it honest to God, it really is. And you know what? I'm hearing people over there whining and crying. And one of the most ironic things I heard, and I could have done fell over, and we're all going to thank Beats him for making me aware of what blessed be the fruit means, because I can no longer say it. But I about fell over when they said, who's trying to take away others' livelihoods? Huh? Who's trying to throw people in jail? Well, yeah, I don't see anybody over there going to jail. You know why? Ma'am, because we're not committing fucking crimes. Despite your bullshit LARPing, we're not committing crimes. Okay? I think that would be why. Yeah, don't you think? Darcy, thank you so much for the super sticker. I mean, that had to be the dumbest thing I ever heard. And then to boot, right? Oh, we're not trying to take away people. Put a one in the chat if you recall for people calling for mass report of Stephen Fisher. SF investigates trolling the trolls. Put a one in the chat if you recall for mass report of his license. Let's watch the ones fly in. And as we watch the ones fly in, we're going to go ahead. I like Uno reverse. Oh, I'm muted now, huh? This fucking internet. I'm here. Hello. Okay. All right. Lord, this is going to be a long day. Huh. Can y'all help me get better internet? Because I'm not going to be able to stream anymore. It's $400 should be enough. Agent 99, thank you. What I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by my ghetto ass unaffordable plan. Put a 2 in the chat. If we recall Stephen Crabtree losing a job with AT&T and people laughing and finding it to be fucking hilarious. Y'all laughing, but I don't hear the cash apps going, so, huh. All right, lots of 2s. Okay. I saw like 2 2s, but I know they're coming. And for the biggest one of all, if at any point you heard somebody say that we are facing up to 20 years in jail, up to 20 years in jail because they are accusing us of RICO, drop a 3 in the chat. If anybody says anything that hurts my feelings, you're looking at 20 years in jail. Talking about going after people's livelihoods, and then aside for because people are looking for Sebastian. I'm sorry, the last I checked, Stephen Crabtree, Cletus, and even Chris Proudfoot were the last ones to actually search for Sebastian. Not no LARP and BS with, the Venezuela gangs. Oh, no. Now we think it's Green Hoodie Man. Well, Green Hoodie Woman. No. Now we have reason to believe. If you have all these reasons to believe that it's the Venezuela gang or it's, I don't know, trafficking or it's labor trafficking or any of that, then why the hell are you all still accusing the Proudfoots and most importantly, the Bowersocks to the point where Mrs. Bowersocks is getting a threatening email to her phone around the holidays? Oh, that's off the table too now? Can't even keep up. What made that one off the table? Nobody took the bite? But don't forget, right after that conversation, Betty's going to direct you all how you can buy some overpriced mugs. This whole thing has become such a damn mockery. I can't even find humor in it anymore, even when I try. The most humorous thing I heard lately is somebody called Nick's Poon. Honest to God, that was like, that really fell me out. I could have fell over from that. But all this other stuff, these implications of mafia-style ran things, and somebody went to 5 or 6 different houses, and, working hand in glove, and all this weird shit. At what point does it become enough? For my meth head chat, allegedly. Up all night. Oh, whatever. I can't stand people. Whatever. We're the meth heads, right? Yeah, because we're up all hours of the night, falling asleep, banging our faces, okay, yeah. Watch out. Oh, yeah, in case some of you didn't hear it, let me just go ahead and... Oh, now it comes up. Your internet was restored. Yeah, thanks. Ghetto-ass company. I'll tell you, I'm really like... I don't know if I'm having a mental breakdown or what, but at some point, enough is enough, and I'll tell you, there should be accountability for this shit. Has all the meth heads watching her. If we were, we wouldn't be able to help with a lawyer. Oh, okay. All the meth heads. Who said that? I thought accusing people of drugs was a big no-no. I thought that like called for like immediate meeting. Attention to the forefront. Fifis are hurt. Fuck yeah.
Hello, I just wanted to let you know that you and your husband and son are going to burn in hellfire and sulfur for the rest of eternity. I just wanted to let you know for killing a little child with a disordered, a sick child. I just wanted you to know.
Oh, the one that cried the loudest? PD, you gotta be kidding me. You know, I would have never known that because I don't look or watch her. Somebody who's so pathetic enough that they're so fucking insecure that they stop being friends with somebody or friendly or supportive of somebody because they like somebody they don't. And I was afraid you all were behind the scenes talking about me. Shut up. Anyway, we don't care about her little weird feelings. Don't even write her name again. Listen to what's on the screen, okay? Listen to this. Listen to the severity of this.
Hello, I just wanted to let you know that you and your husband and son are going to burn in hellfire and sulfur for the rest of eternity. I just wanted to let you know for killing a little child with a disordered, a sick child. I just wanted you.
Did you hear that part? Did you hear it? I don't even know if you can hear me. But for killing a little child, a sick child, what does that even mean? That's how you've allowed people to see your son. That is how Seth Rogers, in my opinion, has allowed people to visualize his son. Where the hell is my avatar? There I am. Hold on. Right, we heard that, right? The sick child, the little sick boy, huh? That's the legacy you leave. Okay, let's hear it again.
Disordered, a sick child, a little child with a disordered, a sick child.
A little child with a disorder, that sick child. Huh. I could take a wild guess whose supporter this is.
I just wanted you to know you're going to burn in hell. And I will give anything. If I could pick anybody in the world to watch die, it would be you and your husband and your son.
If I could pick anyone in the world to watch die, it would be you and your son.
It's gonna happen. Turn yourselves in, you evil, evil people. Turn yourselves in.
This is what they have incited. This is what they have created. And they have the audacity and the nerve to say anything about anybody else. Really? You, your husband, your son. Yeah. Uh-huh. How gross. I was like, sick? A disorder? Sick? Right. Your little sick boy. What does that even mean? Well, what are you allowing to happen? But meanwhile, they're going into phase 423 with all hands on deck because somebody somewhere is calling parole. Thank you, Sane Outlaw, for hitting the thumbs up. If you haven't already, please take a moment to hit the thumbs up. Unbelievable. Right, he's not little and he's not sick. But that's the image they have created. Quinny, isn't that an issue? Like, you're okay with that? It was Black Hawk. Do you support it? Do you support that type of call? I believe so. Because it mentions something about being from somewhere. Is that you? Fake Christians. Fake Christians. Sit here on Jesus' birthday, dragging a person for filth. Right? Is Christmas Jesus' birthday? I don't even know because I'm not religious. But I do know these people don't go to church on Sunday because the only thing they do is go live to drag people for filth. Do you pray to God before or after? You sinful bitches. When do you pray to God? I don't know if they traced it. I hope they did. Miss Liverbird, thank you so much for everything you do. Who? Poppy the Good Troll. Who did that? Yeah, you can't be out here putting hit pieces on people for contacting the parole. That's unfortunately, listen, I don't agree with it. I made that more than crystal clear. I don't agree with it because I know that that poor parole officer has to write up and type up every single call they get, even if it's ridiculous. And I'm also adult enough to know that parole officer has more than one parolee to watch over. So it is just overwhelming that lady with a ton of work. But at the same time, if people are calling out a genuine concern, well, you can't say that you're going to prosecute people for that. You can't say you're going to, yeah, whatever. So others burn in hell before it had. Oh, okay. So you're okay with that, Black Hawk. Thank you. Okay. Okay. You're funny. Okay. Black Hawk's okay with this because others have been told to burn in hell before. So no big deal.
Hello, I just wanted to let you know that you and your husband and son are going to burn in hellfire and sulfur for the rest of eternity.
Hellfire and sulfur.
I just wanted to let you know for killing a little child with a disorder, a sick child. I just wanted you to know you're going to burn in hell, and I will give anything. If I could pick anybody in the world to watch die, it would be you and your husband and your son. It's gonna happen. Turn yourselves in, you evil, evil people.
Oh, so yeah, that's all right. We're okay with that though. You know what, Barb? I'm not doing well because I am so tired. I'm so tired of the BS. I'm so tired of being implicated in these fantasies. These fucking I watch too much TV fantasies. I don't know about any of you, but I'm pretty freaking tired of it. We are now going to phase 643. All hands on deck. Why wouldn't all hands be on deck to find Sebastian Rogers? Do we only put hands on deck to find out who's calling the parolee? And then listen, I hate to be the intelligent one because I'm not worth $500,000, but let me see if I got this correct. Do I get 2,000 for finding this? Well, I didn't make it, so I guess Kodo would get it, but
there's somebody left a comment on one of my posts. Oh, I know what it was. It was the video of Nick right here. They gave me his number. And the comments will always tell you the truth. The comments will always tell you the truth. So the number, okay, here it is right here. Somebody named
no, you know what's clown shit, and you know what's skank is calling somebody's personal phone around the holidays a victim of a crime and then turning around and acting like it's okay because others have been told to burn in hell. That's some skank shit. That's some skank shit.
Lag Nepilisi Louis. I don't know how to say it. Lag Ni Api Lucy. Nick's parole number is 6. For anyone in society who feels this parole needs to be okay, let's have a listen. Let's have a quick call, shall we? Let's have a call. Let's have a quick call.
I don't see why it would be. Honestly, Danica, I don't see why it would be. You know why? Because there's been nothing but a bunch of people on YouTube implicating them. So why would they need to set a distraction? Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. And you know why else I'm going to go ahead and say no? I don't believe so. Because I've also had people send me similar things to my phone. Okay? So that would be another reason why. Pearl, can you come back in just like 5 minutes? Because I just want to show something really quick. Thank you. Um, so that would be why for me, I don't believe that this is like a distraction or anything of the other, because I don't believe they need one. Just like I don't believe somebody needs to plead the fifth to tell YouTubers, I'm not going to talk to you. But yeah, I've had similar things sent to my own personal phone. So I mean, I don't think so. But I can see why you may think that, honestly. That's the tone they've set. Oh, hold on. Thank you for asking about the fund. I have to when I need to pay more, I will start another. And if anybody's able to help, I'd greatly appreciate it. If you're not, I completely understand. You've all helped more than you even know. So yeah, so they're looking for, the person that's calling parole. Well, one person did it live, and they're pretty much saying, "Hey, it was me." So go take it up with them, but stop acting like people are like working together and, mafia style. And I mean, honestly, at what point does it stop? When does it stop? Is it going to take somebody getting seriously hurt for this to all stop? Better yet, at what point does it become about Sebastian? Huh? At what point? It is. Hello. I'm so glad you asked.
The Parole Board's Operations Monitoring Center. Your call may be recorded for quality assurance and training purposes. Please hold for the next available operator.
These people think they're untouchable.
Parole's Operations Monitoring Center. All operators are currently on the phone. Please hold for the next available operator. You are caller number 1.
Yeah. I'm telling you. I'm calling for Nick. It's a pet suit.
There it is. And you know why? Because he made this comment that he's been deputized and will arrest first and ask questions later. And I don't know about any of you, but I find that concerning, especially myself, because I live nearby. Okay. So I think that's a really bizarre comment to make, and it's an untruthful one. And it's not even just him at this point, Jackie. It's a bunch of people. It's a bunch of people doing it. They get these little updates, these little middle of the night hurt fingers. Could just imagine. All angry, type in. But this has gone too far. This has absolutely gone too far. And then again, I can't believe the audacity to turn around and say anybody who's helping Seth is being jailed. Who the fuck's been jailed? Let's not forget, Betty called her charges before she was even really rocking with Seth. Okay? That's for starters. Secondly, her charges have nothing to do with helping Seth, unless Seth sent her there to harass, the family he once called because he couldn't watch any TV or movies 2 weeks after his son disappeared. Right? But okay. And then we have, oh, they're trying to take away his livelihood. We're not doing that. No, you're just throwing people in frivolous lawsuits to spend thousands of dollars before the holidays. That's not affecting. You don't think that has a major impact on people's financials, but mental as well? Yeah, AT, because I wasn't doing anything for them to actually hit me with. In this case, again, let me remind you all, since Miss Know-It-All over here, this know-it-all over here wants to accuse people of the type of forgery they do. Right? The email from those screenshots doesn't match Castor's LinkedIn nor website email. LOL. When you type his email from his LinkedIn or website, his actual photo shows up as a little circle icon. Oh yeah, what's your email? I'll send it to you. She was so confident in herself. It's against the rules to do a request for phone records via FOIA, but it's cool to call someone's parole officer. Wait, it's against the rules to do a request for phone records. What rules are we talking about? It's against the rules to request for phone records via FOIA, but it's cool to call it. Well, who says it's cool? Wait, let me ask you a honest question, Blackhawk. Honest question. First off, people did FOIA phone calls, right? People are okay with FOIA. But you're surely not comparing YouTube rules to somebody who has legitimately came in and tried to destroy people's actual lives, right? You're not doing that, are you? Like, you think there's like a YouTube rule not to go real life on people that are actively affecting people's real lives? I realized after I read it, Miss Jess, what they were saying there. This is real life. All of this is real life. This is based around a real life missing child. This is based around my real life and my reputation and my pockets. This is as far real life as it gets. So I'll ask you this, Blackhawk. It's okay to throw people into frivolous litigation? It's okay for that? You said to take it up with them, not you. Just saying it's not what you were saying last week. I didn't call. What do you want me to do? You guys, I know Nick is really affecting people's real lives, playing Little Riddler in the middle of the night, but please do me a favor. No, I owe him nothing. I owe him nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yeah. Don't we all have that choice? Don't we all have that choice to pick what is right and what is wrong? Thank you. Thank you for agreeing. You think this guy can sit here? Did anybody else hear last night somebody say, and the only reason we filed RICO was because they were bullying and harassing? Did anybody hear that? Wasn't that quite funny? Blackhawk won't come up. Yeah, I'm saying go take it up with the person who called. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Look how many people's real lives they have affected. BHB has gotten several people fired from their real jobs. Yeah. I mean, again, go take it up with the person who called. Wasn't me. So many times, Lazy Wolf, that I won't even repeat it again. I don't. A FOIA is Freedom of Information Act. It's where people are invading people's personal lives by taking, requesting FOIAs made to their houses. That's what FOIA is. Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and tell anybody they're wrong. Out or call in anywhere if they have a genuine concern. Because after all, Philadelphia is the home of the FAFO, is what they said. Am I correct in that? Is what they said? How are they going to twist it now and say these emails are fake? What's the next move? What's phase 7? I just would love to know who supposedly paid this company. Well, what's ironic is in the filing they try to say like an anonymous source, but obviously that's not gonna rock out. Hey Courtney, if you haven't, please hit the thumbs up. Look, I'm a retired parole officer, and anyone can call and have concerns documented. If I was Nick's PO, I'd unplug my phone, which you really can't. Claudia, this is what they always do, the whataboutisms. Well, what about this and what about that? I don't care. I'm not responsible for anybody but myself. Nothing. Nobody. Hey, Deborah. I was one of the first people to say don't call. I don't owe that to anybody, though. Let's keep it real.
The fact that I have to waste my time and yours making videos like this just shows what a really sad state of affairs we have here in the Sebastian.
Who blocked you? More importantly, who hurt you? Why don't you come have a conversation since you hunt and we fear? Come have a conversation like an adult. Enough with this. No, Gary, I'm more concerned that all the resources weren't activated to find Sebastian. That's what I'm more concerned with.
Rogers case. Yet here we are.
Yet here you are.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Monday morning, the 30th of December. So this came to my attention because Nonsense covered it. Evil CJ makes false claims on Michelle After Dark. Let's discuss the facts and timeline. An easy give.
Why? Why are they going after Michelle After Dark? Because she has common sense? This is just further proof that anybody who doesn't push their rhetoric or has a different opinion gets attacked. Honestly, that's all this is. And you know what? I find it really despicable. But you are, Black Hawk. But you are. Just hit the thumbs up, you son of a bitch. I love the fact that he made me lose my thought, you silly rabbit. Oh yeah. Anybody who disagrees gets attacked. But isn't that their victimhood slogan? Isn't that what they cry about over there? That's all they cry about. You know what's so funny is that Black Hawk is still in this chat, because any other chat, he would have been blocked, he would have been silenced, he would have been told to go F off. But we're allowing you, Black Hawk, because I hoped you had a little more sense. I mean, let me make sure I understand this correctly. You were mad at me because White Boy called Nick's parole office. And despite me saying that nobody should call his parole office, you feel like that's not good enough. You feel like I should say or do more. Am I understanding this correctly? Somebody please tell me if I got this correct. Hey, small town girl.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Was just in chat and had a few questions for Blackhawk. Talking about being, listening to people that are adults, so on and so forth. So is he from the side where it's okay to call children defective and
Sick?
also okay to say that some children should be euthanized?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just want to make sure that I'm clear on that's what he's in here saying that he supports.
I can't figure out exactly what he's saying, to be honest. Hey, Leo. Because normally Blackhawk's a little more level-headed. We just heard a lady call a grandmother who has not been arrested and literally say that Sebastian was a sick little boy. So.
Yeah, I heard that. And I think that voicemail is 100% disgusting. Whoever did that needs to be held 100% accountable.
Mm-hmm.
It's not okay to call any family and say that. But the family of a missing child,
Mm-hmm.
like, what in the world do you people, and I'm not referring to you, think that you're accomplishing by doing this kind of stuff?
Look, I love this here too. Kathy Bauer Socks being part, first off, it's not socks, but blessed be, being part of taking Betty to court, but she didn't report this harassment, threatening call to police. Who did they pay to leave that voicemail? Because, wow, who says they didn't report it?
Yeah. And why wouldn't you think that they would report it? They have 4 active, which means approved by a judge, ROs against Betty. When Betty left the courtroom the last time she was there, the judge said to her face, "This family does not exist to you anymore." And she has continued to double down, triple down on things that she said about this family. She has since spoke about the judge, his family, things that she wants done to his family. The DA.
And that call was reported. So I don't know
I'm
why you're
sure it
saying it
was.
wasn't, D'Angelo. Listen, I understand. I get it why people believe that maybe Katie or Chris has something to do with it. I don't understand the claiming that the Bowerstocks do. I don't understand that simply because they went to Alaska. I beg to ask where Seth's parents have been, but we'll digress because we're not as gross as them. But you didn't do it for you because you're lying because it was reported. So you did it for you, nothing. Okay. But to go as far as to act like somebody just said, why do they think they have all this money? Like, again, every time something comes up, small town girl, that there's proof that like threats are being made, they always find a way to dismiss it. I'm getting texts to my personal phone line from a number that's connected to a Wanda out of Nashville, and these people still don't believe it. I can show the emails that I'm receiving, everything, but these people simply go live and say, "Y'all, we're being threatened," and everybody's like, "Oh my god, that's so horrible." Maybe she wasn't at her house, you goof nut. You ever think of that? Maybe they were in Alaska, or maybe they were on their private jet in the air. Maybe they were anywhere but at their actual address. Sorry to interrupt you, small town.
No, this is your channel. And the thing too is, just because that call was put out yesterday doesn't mean that it happened yesterday.
Right. Well, they said they FOIA'd 2 months worth of phone calls, so that's weird.
And if it was just reported yesterday, would there even be a FOIA available?
No.
And why would they release any information regarding it if they're still trying to find, who did it?
No, I think a lot of this shit is weirdo shit. You got people talking about foiling random people's fucking, like the grandparents that have nothing to do with the situation. They're getting death threats, and people are justifying or saying it's faked or something. It's just weirdo shit. If you're like justifying, leaving threats on someone's voicemail because some YouTuber said that someone did something, you're a fucking idiot, and you probably deserve to not have the internet anymore because you're too stupid to interact with the world. So that's my opinion. I don't understand why people think it's a great idea. Meanwhile, they're like, you got Brittany J. Oh my God, people called his parole office. Well, maybe they called his parole office when he threatened that he's going to truth serum people on his fucking tweets. I don't know. That just seems a little weird. Also, the fact is that he's, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, not Granny's, that he seems like he's fucking pretending that he's working with law enforcement, which he's not allowed to work with law enforcement, and he is also spreading misinformation in a missing teenager's case so he can sell more coffee mugs and fucking overpriced sweaters. I mean, does anyone just sit here and say to themselves, what the hell is going on? This guy is obstructing a case. He's obstructing the search for Sebastian Rogers by basically putting out misinformation about the case and also threatening anyone that talks about the case that might have a different opinion than him. He's also justifying changing the image of the missing person's Sebastian Rogers picture. He's endorsing that. So not only is he changing the image, that he's like endorsing changing the image of this child, he changes the date in which the child is last seen. He also proceeds to injunction anyone or basically sends injunction anyone that talks about the case. And he also proceeds to, justify the harassment of people. And then now he's got a $2,000 doxing fee for Redditors. And you're telling me this guy, and then before that, he said that he was going to truth serum people to see if they would tell the truth, which is illegal.
Well, Tim, wasn't that some of the at night's post over the weekend where they are wanting to pay people for information that basically talks bad about Seth, and is that for people that where they have proof of people hindering the investigation? Wasn't that some of their posts this weekend? Like, how can these people determine what is hindering an investigation when they're not the police department?
Yeah, they're not working with the cops. I don't see how they're working with the cops when one of them can't even fucking interact with cops.
He
And the
can't even
fact that
leave the state of Pennsylvania. How is he doing an active investigation for a missing child in Pennsylvania and can't even leave the state
Mhm.
to go search for a missing child?
Yeah, I just think like people are like, oh my god, white boy calls up. Yeah, I don't agree with calling up, but when someone tells you that they're planning on doing an illegal activity online, which is truth serum, uh, which is illegal. Just like if Granny was on parole and she said, "Yeah, I'm gonna plan on robbing that store down the block. Planning on doing that right now. I have my gun ready and I'm doing that right now." Like, do you think people wouldn't be like, "What the fuck are you doing, Granny?"
Well,
Like,
and why does it at night have to come out with these riddles, in my opinion, on at night, when they're making these posts this weekend, saying they're offering $1,000 for this information and $2,000 for this information, when the police department, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, is doing this investigation. They've said
bro,
numerous times.
he doesn't have the money. He does not have the money.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. The police department is not out here saying, I'll give you $2,000 for information that leads to, you know,
Doxing random redditors, yeah.
yes.
But the guy doesn't have the money. The guy's doing $5 and $2 super chats to people once in a while. It's broke energy. I'm seeing.
But think
The
about
guy
it
is
though.
trying to sell fucking overpriced sweaters, overpriced journals with his autograph, and he's like jumping on advertising's coffee mugs.
Right. But
Tell me
think
that's the
about
work of
it
a
though.
millionaire.
Like, use common sense, people. Like, at night is out here wanting to pay $2,000 to somebody for information about someone that is hindering an investigation, someone that's talked bad about Seth,
No, you're
someone that
wrong.
doesn't go on with their.
You're wrong. It's not about talking. It's literally because they want to dox that person out. They want to dox out the redditors that's calling up his parole office. Listen to really listen to it closely. It's mostly like basically our employee at Act Night, parole, you know what I mean? Like, come on. It's Nick because if you read the messages with Queen and him, he's really fucking butthurt when anyone tries to call up his parole. And that's what he gets really pissed off at. And that's why he did that $2,000 pretending that at night and activating all these resources because he's fucking scared shitless that he might go back to jail. And honestly, he's perilously close to going back to jail because he's doing shit that is really fucked up and might be hindering an investigation. It, in my opinion, is hindering an investigation, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, and if people out here, like, I've seen these channels that just go crazy, whenever Nick makes a post or, Nick says this, or you've got creators out here that are saying, oh my God, I'm going to turn this into Nick. Oh my God, Nick needs to see this. Go back and Google Nick. It's that easy.
Well, and that's the biggest thing. It's like, wait a minute. They're acting like this man holds all the mighty power, and he simply
Yes.
doesn't. He doesn't. He holds no power. And the fact that they're trying to put out a $2,000 hit piece to get somebody's information to dox them for a tit for tat because they're upset that supposedly somebody's calling for a press conference outside of the parole office or whatever they were saying, that has nothing to do with me.
I haven't heard anyone talk about holding a press conference in front of the parole office. That is just bullshit that he made up. I truly believe that's bullshit that he's made up. The truth of the matter is there are probably people calling up his parole, and now you can disagree with it or agree with it. Personally, me, I'm not doing it. I'm not fucking getting involved with it, but I can understand why some people might be doing it since the guy went on there and talked about truth serum and other things that could be considered illegal in the United States. Inserting truth serum into people is not legal. I'm sorry, it's not.
Yeah, I'm not calling anybody. I don't do that kind of stuff. I don't have a channel. Like, that's not my forte. But, in the same sentence, it's not okay to call people's parole boards, just like it's not okay to leave people voicemails like Kathy Bowersox received.
Well,
Right.
Shelby
New account.
says,
Thank you so much for the 35 months. That is amazing.
Shelby says it's 4,500. So he better pay Kodo because Kodo figured it out for him. So I expect the $4,500 being delivered to Kodo immediately. He won't pay no one because he's broke, and you can feel the broke energy from him. So good luck,
Well, and
Kodo.
another big red flag for me that, again, it's
Hold
common
on,
sense.
really quick. I hate to interrupt, but this is very special. Really quick. Check this out. Oh wait, we're blocking it. All these people. Here we go. This is exactly why Castor has to come out and make a public statement. While I emailed the law firms, whoever forged that email is impersonating not one, but two lawyers. There will be criminal charges filed. Let's hope Granny's attorney is aware of her committing more crimes using his name to do so. First off, moron, I'm not the one that released it. Secondly, how dare you? How dare you? This is exactly why.
Who is this idiot?
I don't know, but this is exactly why it's going to be very loud what they are doing. Because again, don't you dare accuse me of forging anything when it's right here.
Yeah, you're doing a share screen of your email.
Right here. Here is literally the email. You have counsel, please see attached, right? Then you have Jessica, see below response from Attorney Castor to the motion to dismiss filing. Here's Bruce Castor. Please note that I'm not involved in this case, and any indication otherwise is in error. Mr. Lasniak is the plaintiff's counsel. I represent Mr. Chapman in a matter in Texas only. Evidently, that caused some confusion. If I was not clear about that sooner in the progress of this case, I regret that. There's no need to copy me on any correspondence. Thank you and have a great holiday. Regards, Bruce. Don't accuse me of any type of, but you know what? That's okay. That's okay, because this, again, is exactly why my countersuit is going to be what it is.
I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, these people have made these individuals that follow them brain dead. That they don't understand, like, how deep shit their favorite content creator is. Like, literally, she signed a document. Let's just use Brittany J because she's the biggest idiot of them all. She signed a document not realizing the full ramifications of it. And then when she's told, hey, you could be hit with an anti-slap, she continues to act like, oh, yeah, I'm all right. I got cancer. It's a forgery. It's not real. That he's not representing me. And then when you actually show the emails, I'm sure she's going to deny it and have someone tell her it's a forgery or something like that. But, like, look how dumb these people are. Like, really, you literally have a situation where it's only Joseph Lasniak. You got broke energy fucking Nick over there sending $2 fucking super chats. Even TikTok Tony sent $50. Like, he works a day job as a crane salesman. So you're telling me
the only one forging anything is them forging Castor's name onto this filing after he has made it very crystal freaking clear that he wants it to be known that he is not involved in any type of way. That is literally, I mean, there's 3 emails.
Yeah, there's three. There's probably more, actually, in my understanding. There's probably multiple. And the fact is that they put his name there to make it look good, to puff it up. And they didn't think, and they thought it was just going to lay into the court system. You were going to do your pro se shit, or someone was going to do the pro se shit, and then they would be able to, sneak that off a little bit without it being called. But guess what? They're dealing with attorneys, and attorneys can find these things and know how to deal with it. And guess what? Now on Monday, I'm sure Mr. SF is going to do a report, and
well, today's Monday.
Yeah, he's going to do a report, and that's not going to look good. Because in the end of the day, you have a situation where you have a BS injunction being forced upon people because with multitudes of lies, like so many lies in that filing, I couldn't even count them.
Not only that, but now you have these people think that it's okay for them to email these attorneys and ask anything about this litigation. Whoo, blessed be. Y'all really going to get yourselves in some trouble. Let the whole internet know how these people have spun you all to think that you're allowed to do this type of shit.
Yeah,
let them know.
Well, and I really think too that they did this injunction thinking that nobody was going to fight them because they figured oh my gosh, they put these names in there, so these people are going to be intimidated and not take it any further. So none of this stuff would have never gotten to this point, is what I truly think.
I
Oh
think,
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I think that was the case. I think that's what he was doing. It was all like bluff, like, oh, we're going to add the name RICO to scare you. We're going to add all these plaintiffs. We're going to add Castor's name, these two attorneys. We're gonna have my attorney do a little bit of an interview with Ian, like, here and there. And they thought that this would be a situation where they could intimidate people. And guess what?
Right.
It didn't work.
And they're still
They
going. I
came
mean,
out from the beginning saying that this was a RICO case, and it's not. So you can't tell me that they weren't trying to intimidate people from the very beginning.
well, did you hear somebody yesterday say, and the whole RICO filing is because we just wanted the bullying and harassment to stop? As if that is a justification for accusing somebody of RICO, especially
Yeah,
when you yourself haven't shut up.
yeah, that was a brilliant strategy by her. Did you download that, by the way? Because I
Oh,
think that's
absolutely.
probably a good line. Because, like, like, it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
Absolutely.
And these people, they don't understand. What's funny is they don't understand how fucked they are. Like, they really don't understand how
No,
fucked they
because they're
are.
now doubling down, accusing me, the person who didn't even release the email, of fabricating it. So now you're accusing me of another crime and you're lying, saying you contacted whatever fucking attorney you saw in that filing. And again, when with them doing this, they are simply making it easier on our attorneys and harder on Lasniak. Because you better believe my attorney just received an email of that, and we are going to demand that Castor either make it publicly known he is not involved, or there will be serious repercussions for it.
Yeah, you have a document on the screen, by the way.
Oh, yeah. So I want to show everybody this. So not only is this from Pennsylvania Department of Corrections, you shall not work with law enforcement agencies without express written permission from the parole board via board action. There are no exceptions, right? We all saw this. They added this to the lawsuit. But how about this one? You shall not directly, indirectly, or through third-party forms have contact with Christopher Proudfoot and his family. This includes letters, social media, and phone calls, texts, or any other forms of contact under any condition or for any reason. There are no exceptions.
Wait, that was actually written in that?
Yeah, this is a whole nother filing.
Yeah, that was revised, I think, back in September to his parole, when his parole officer was getting called.
Oh. So he kind of fucked up. I think he might have broke his conditions of his new conditions of his parole. Okay, it's not good.
So maybe at some point they should stop accusing everybody else of committing crimes and disobeying laws and forgery and all the other things, and they should really point it where it belongs. How dare you accuse me of making up those fucking emails? How dare you?
Well, they have to, because they have to save the narrative, because then they have to realize that they all have been lied to and bamboozled by a bunch of circus clowns. You got the monkey, the monkey handler over there, Justin. You got Brittany, Sleepy Brittany. You got the whole fucking carnival. You got Bullhorn Betty, the bearded angry lady. I mean, you got all these people. It's fucking weird. Every single one of them are just like a clown show at this point.
When you got all these people running around trying to accuse, or, trying to drill into people's heads that and they're not even saying, a lot of them aren't even saying, in my opinion, that Chris and Katie are 100% guilty in doing something with Sebastian. But yet you've got this whole other clown show over here, in my opinion, that is working with nothing but criminals. I mean, you just pulled up Nick's revised parole that had to be revised because of what he's doing in this case. You've got Betty calling everybody felons and all this stuff when she's out on a $20,000 bond, getting ready to face jail time January 8th when she goes back to court for her criminal hearing.
Oh, I'm glad Casual Art reminded me. I did see that again, And it was very interesting that he was recommending legals that they should. He was like, he heard rumors about it, and he was actually recommending that there would be some sort of legal action being taken during with the interview on Court TV with the harassment. It's very interesting because personally, I think, like, in my opinion, if I can just go out of the limb, I think he knew about the filing, but that's just me. I don't know if he agreed that his name was on there. That's not something I would know, but I think he knew about this filing. And it would be kind of weird that he doesn't know that his name is being put on a filing that he knows that is coming down the pipeline. Because Dog is his client. He represents him in another state, another action, and yet he doesn't know that about his client being in an injunction as a plaintiff. Either he's incompetent or he's just like, just not, plausible deniability. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion. Not Granny's, not anyone else. Just my opinion. Because it's a little weird. I think we're all going to get front net row seats to watch the Karma do her. Yeah, like fucking 2025 to be your FFAO. Hi, Casey. FAFO. Sorry. Morning. Sorry about that. Does Doug know his name is on the filing? He should. He should. What an idiot.
Yeah, and I think Castor, just in my opinion, I think Castor might know about this filing, but did he know the extent of his name being forged in there? Now that, to me, could be a different story.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't really want to know. I'm not exactly sure the term forged, but let's just say put into the document, because I'm not. But I don't know. I think there's two options. Either he's, completely incompetent, unless he's incompetent, where he doesn't know his own client is doing an injunction and he's not even paying attention to it. And it's not like, John Doe client. This is a high profile client. He's a celebrity for him. So he should probably know a little bit of the movements of his high profile celebrity client, which he goes on Court TV with. Or he's, he does the plausible deniability thing. He's trying to backpedal. Because I think, like, I think it's a little odd.
Well, what happened was Castor recommended that if Nick and them, continue to get death threats or whatever, he would recommend taking legal action. He didn't say, hey, go file the most frivolous lawsuit that has ever been seen, in this part of the town in X amount of years, and accuse these two women of RICO. So people that are using what he said on Court TV to say, hey, he's involved, because listen to what he said here. Don't embarrass yourself.
No, he says he recommended. He didn't say he was involved.
Right.
And I want to know, does Dog think that he's in a filing with Sean, Nicholas, or Seth?
Right. I mean, does Dog even know he's in the filing? He didn't write any declarations or anything. We made a point to point that out. He's the first name listed, likely for publicity reasons, and he never wrote anything.
I mean, imagine if a scenario occurred, and this is my opinion, and this is a speculation, tinfoil hat, where they just might have just added his name just for an effect and never actually consulted Dog about it. That would be interesting.
It would be interesting.
But let's say he does know about the injunction, right? He knows. I mean, he obviously knows about the injunction because he's been on many YouTube videos. I'm sure Nick's talked to him about it. But, like, does he know that he's possibly liable for, close to, like, all the attorney's costs if the anti-SLAPP goes through? Does he know that he's going to be owing money to that? Does he know the full ramifications of this since he's a plaintiff?
Well, I think when you already owe millions and millions of dollars, I don't think a couple, another $100,000 is really going to stress you out that much when you already owe that amount of money, to someplace.
Oh, well, I know you're going to have to go behind. Maybe you can get his memorabilia, Granny, if you win, just demand shit from him. Remember Dog memorabilia, so you can just auction it off on YouTube or something. To
For
pay
what, $5
I mean, everything helps. Get his sunglasses, maybe. Sell it on eBay. I don't know. Just get his shit. Sell it.
I mean,
If
these
you-
people just dig themselves deeper and deeper is my whole thing. Like, to now imply that you contacted the attorney, so I forged an email that wasn't even released by me. These people are just unbelievable. Honestly, they don't know when to stop, and I think that's their biggest issue. And Kelly Cat, I know exactly where you come from, who you support, and it will reflect back on that person. Mark my words, all of this will be used in a counter. Every single implication of me committing a crime, every little fucking riddle they have placed out there to try to incite hate towards me, all of it is being documented, organized, and will be presented. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Like, it's not even a game at this point. It's fucking real life. This is some real life shit. Like, they are just over there implicating people in crimes. It's not okay.
It's too late now, Quenny. I have a question.
Well, and I
for you.
wonder what's
Yeah.
going to
No,
happen.
he could drop it, but we still pursue it. That's even
Yeah.
what they wrote. Like, even if the parties decide at this point that they want to drop out, that we are still entitled to follow through on our filing.
Yeah, it's too late now. They
Well,
fucking
and so if
lost.
you guys follow through with your filings and stuff, like, how does that work if one or more of the opposite side is in jail?
I don't know. It
just
just goes
because
further against their credibility. The clean hand clause comes in. That's exactly what SF's whole filing was about. Like, look, here are your plaintiffs. This one said this. This one's facing 4 POs and criminal charges, and they don't have clean hands. So it still goes forth, but it's not going to do them any well.
I mean, let's compare the plaintiffs, shall we? We have Dog, who was a felon because I don't know what the exact charge, but he was in the room when someone got murdered. Okay. Betty, that has a slew of arrests and also has currently 4 POs on her and is 6 violations. Nick the Hat, who, is still on parole for his various crimes. And they're calling us the criminals.
Right.
I'm just saying, I don't know. This seems like your plaintiffs have a pretty interesting past. Let's just say.
Well, and I just have a question. I don't know if Steven's still in here or not.
He said he'll be coming up.
I just want to know. I did see SF's post on X saying that his flight was booked for January 7th. So is he going to make an appearance on January 8th?
Maybe.
Because I would totally love that, because he's such an unscrupulous PI, but yet gets to witness that person being put in the handcuffs. Like, that would be fantastic.
What we need is honest. I remember the Karen Reed case. There was sometimes cameras couldn't be allowed in, so they would have Grant, and he's kind of a batshit crazy guy, but he would give such detailed notes on Twitter. He would do tweets as the second's going on. So if there's no cameras in there, we need someone like Grant to just be tweeting furiously or something, just to get the idea of what these people are, taking notes so they can tell us on Twitter.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think that they could even have their phones in the courtroom, because I think, remember that one where Clue said Chris went around asking people for their watches?
Yeah, that was because someone was streaming and it was actually the TV person.
Oh, okay. I thought it was because they weren't allowed to have their phones in there.
No, it was because they were like, why is it being streamed on another, and then basically they said, we started looking for phones to find out who was streaming.
Hold on. Firefly says, I doubt she is going to jail. You really think that she's not going to get any jail time?
We need a Grant Bueller. We need a Grant there. Just someone that just not as crazy as Grant, not as batshit crazy as Grant, but someone who just takes down good notes on a piece of paper. And
I wonder why she's not screaming for media to be there like she was in the beginning.
Because she knows that it's gonna be interesting. I mean, I don't know, because there's an appeal afterwards, so I don't know. It's a little odd. I would think the appeal would go before your possible getting, hit with a trial. I'm not sure if they might be asking for an extension. She shows up and says, "Hey, can I have an extension until the appeals or something?" I don't know.
And I think she did ask for another extension, and I think it was denied.
Yeah.
And so her January 8th hearing still goes on. And I've heard two different things. I've heard that the appeal is still set for February, and I've also heard that the appeal has already been denied. But that's just hearsay. Do not take that as fact.
She has motions denied
Yeah.
with 3 appeals denied.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Because the problem is that she would have kept her mouth shut afterwards and not talked about Chris and did all these stupid shit and all that stuff. I think the judge would be lenient on her. But
Yeah, Steven said, here it is. He said all 3 appeals denied, and she has motions that were denied.
oh my God. And do you imagine like the law, like whenever I see like a motion denied, I think to myself, like money being flushed down the toilet because she had to pay her lawyer to write those motions and everything. So it's just like I hear like toilet flushing sounds whenever I hear a motion denied, motion denied, motion
Well, and
denied.
she's still responsible for the court costs for her original hearings, and then she's also still responsible for Chris and Katie's and the Bowerstocks, I believe, attorney fees. So, like,
Yeah, she's absolutely fucked. I don't think. I mean, like, I'll be kind of surprised she doesn't do jail time, but that's just because what else you got to do to this lady? She's she's unrepentant. She still continues to break and violate every day.
well, and in just my opinion, I feel like that's why she's acting the way that she is, and it's only going to get worse the closer that it gets to January 8th.
Yeah. She has raged on the judge and family. Well, the judge tries to stay neutral, at least appear neutral. So he's not going to say anything. But when the sentencing comes down, well, might add an extra little salt to the wound, maybe. Each appeal costs $250 for $1,000 in filing fees. Plus the lawyer. Yeah, her money's gone. Like all the money she raised to that GoFundMe is gone. Fucking disappeared. That money is gone.
Well, I think that was gone.
Yeah.
Back when she filed just the appeals, because she didn't even raise 5,000.
That's why there's like a little bit of like tension. You seem like there was like a strained smile with Nick and Betty, kind of like one of those like fake smiles. I think she sees through the guy, and I think she knows this is because she was expecting some sort of financial help because you got all these big channels kind of jumping in and like helping. And I find it very interesting that the hate channels are able to raise $5,000 literally in less than 24 hours. But yeah, for Betty, it's fucking 3 months later. And you got the lab, you got Brittany J, you got herself, you got Nick the Hat and the intelligence agency. You got all these channels, and she's stuck at 4,600.
Well, and you have to also remember, out of that group of people, she's not the only one facing lawsuits that's going to need money.
Yeah. She's definitely going to jail. Yeah, Jude, I kind of agree with that. I'm sorry if I'm talking. You can just tell me to stop talking, Granny, if you need to.
No, I'm gonna get ready to go feed Nelly, so I appreciate you talking. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't
I'll
want
be
to
right
like because I know you have super chats to come in. You can just stop us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jaded, and thank you, Kirby, for becoming a member again. She is definitely going to jail. There's a good chance, man. I don't know. Don't ever forget though that they said filing this was their way of helping Betty. Remember, they kept saying we have a big thing up our sleeves. We have a big idea up our sleeves. We have a backup plan for Betty. I think this filing this RICO was that backup plan.
Yes, our backup plan. Did Joseph even know this law passed recently in Pennsylvania? Because it was pretty soon. Did he even know about this new updated anti-SLAPP? That's the question.
I don't know, but my question would also be, if they had a plan for her, does Joseph even know that Betty has 4 ROs against her from the family?
Yes.
He does know that?
He does know that. He absolutely knows that. This is my opinion, though. I'm not going to state it as a statement of fact because I can't read the person's brain. But he's been on interviews with Eve. He talks to Nick on a daily basis. That is just, an opinion based upon surrounding facts that an educated guess. I would get an educated estimation that he probably knows that there are multiple ROs, like POs on her, and also violations.
Right. B Tim, did you check back chat?
Okay. Why would I check back chat?
Somebody had a question for you. I don't know.
I don't know where she got
Yeah,
it.
I hope she goes to jail myself. I mean, I think it's terrible to say because you never want to say that you hope someone goes to jail, but in my opinion, she has crossed the line so many times since since the ROs were put on her. I mean, she crossed the line before that, but since then, I mean, she's gone 10 toes down and, I mean, hasn't stopped from her thumbnails to, just the stuff that she's said.
Well, what she's doing is she's inciting people to do death threats. When these people do these kind of like say like, oh, we think they're guilty, and you got the spokesperson thinking that someone's guilty, you're inciting people to do things because naturally people don't like they listen to these content creators and they think they are actually speaking actual facts, which I don't know how they think that, but whatever. And then they basically believe they're doing the right thing by like yelling, going, shaming these people. And the truth of the matter is like what you're doing is actually fucking hindering an actual investigation. Other tip lines that could make an actual important tip being going to the wrong place. You got, changing the description of the child, looking differently. You have different days that the child went, the teenager went missing. You have all these things that are happening, and it actually affects the investigation in a negative way, in my opinion. And
yeah, I don't know how any of that could be not hindering an investigation, even with putting out, the dog, these people putting out dogs tip line all the time. Like, to me, that is hindering an investigation because dog, in my opinion, is a nobody to make judgment on whether or not a tip should be sent to TBI or law enforcement.
Yeah, I don't think anything should be sent to Dog. I think Dog is an incompetent moron who I wouldn't trust him with my fucking breakfast order, let alone a missing persons case. He is he goes into Mexico and gets arrested because he finds out there that it's illegal. That would be probably prudent research to do before you go to another country to find out the laws of that country. He's just an incompetent individual, and I think he launches this looking into Sebastian right when he's launching his new products, his clothing line, which to me is a very disgusting thing that he's doing. And that's just my opinion. I just don't agree with that. It's nasty. It's nasty and disgusting that they are completely trying to profit from this kid, selling cups, mugs, all types of things. And then they sit there and they have the gall to say YouTubers, because they get super chats, are the real bad guys. Are the real bad guys. Meanwhile, these people are literally doing almost everything in my mind to we can obstruct this case. And that's just such an opinion I have.
Well, yeah, and look at the side of YouTube that is making the most money off of this case, and what they're saying is, in my opinion, hindering an investigation. I mean, coming out and saying with no proof, no nothing, that Chris and Katie are 100% guilty is hindering an investigation, because then you're inciting your audience to say that without looking for any proof. I mean, law enforcement has not said any of that. So so now you've got At Night or whoever is saying that this is now a criminal investigation, and you've got those people running with it. when law enforcement hasn't said that at all. So again, that's hindering an investigation, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. I did a little research. Apparently, it is up to the bondsman to turn her in for breaking the restrictions when they are before the judge, and she requests bond again. The judge can change bondsman. Yeah, he's usually on Queen. Oh yeah, I am. I'm usually there. I'm usually jumping around, just a panel. They used to call me a panel whore. Anywho, I just jump on subjects that interest me. That's pretty much it. Or to confront people I don't, confront interesting people, let's just say, if I get a chance. Yeah.
And in my opinion, you've got all these people that are like, poor Seth. Seth had to have, experience Christmas without his son and do his birthday and all this. What do you think Chris and Katie did? You don't think that Katie missed her son just as much as Seth did?
Respectfully, Joe, I disagree. I think, Lisa, the stuff you have said about me and Brittany's chat has been atrocious. I think you should rewind a few minutes and see that I'm not lying, nor did I forge any documents pertaining to Bruce Castor. And I think you should either apologize before entering my chat as if you haven't disparaged me all over these streets, or don't even have the balls to come in, quite frankly. Joe's a little bit nicer than me. I'm not in a nice mood today. I'm so sorry. Small town girl, I do apologize for interrupting you. I just can't believe the audacity of some people.
No, don't ever apologize. This is your channel. I'm just up here giving my opinion. And like I said, I mean, I'm mind blown at the stuff that people are saying, and acting like we need to find Sebastian, bring him back home to his dad.
The place.
Why aren't you going to bring him back home to his mom?
Right. And listen, again, I understand why people may feel like the Proudfoots are guilty. This is why we have a innocent until proven guilty law. Unfortunately, social media is going to impact the future of litigation. It's going to have an impact on the jury pool. There's going to be huge problems. It already has in many cases. Look at Idaho 4. They're saying, we can't get fair. Look at Luigi. They're saying because of the social media there, they can't get any fair, justice there. And I completely agree. Hold on.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
BTM, I was on Queen's channel the other day, and you said I'd be a good one if I don't wear Crocs. No disrespect to Granny, but I don't like Crocs either.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, I'm just saying, I had to change my name. I kindly started getting some rude, not, I'd say threats, but somebody beating down on me, so I had to change my name to the tribe.
Sorry.
I'm sorry that you're going through that. That's just...
Well, I don't know why they wanted to pick, because I've not got my channel up yet, and, I don't want to beat down nobody, but, I haven't got my channel started yet, so I was just going to tell Granny I'm the same person. I just had to change my
oh, yeah, I noticed as soon as you put the photo on. Thank you.
Do what, honey?
I noticed as soon as you put the photo on.
Okay, so this is me, but I just don't want no beefs with nobody, and if I start up, which I'm not for sure now the way it's going, but it wasn't pleasant, so
oh, okay. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
I'm not here to argue with anybody. Everybody's got their own beliefs and stuff, but I wanted to not change the subject, but to go back to the caller that made that call, that she hoped that the mother and the dad and the child burn in hell. That's the purpose for us all being here, is to hope to find that child and hope that he's healthy and well. And I don't know who would be so disgusting to have made that remark. To me, it's a wasted piece of flesh for her to even waste her voice on that.
That's what they created, though. That's the environment they created. They created that is, okay to dehumanize people. That is okay, to treat people that way if you feel they're guilty of something. This is the environment they created. And they're doing it every single day. Every time at night puts up a dramatic posting, using dramatic words, talking about phases and this and that and bigger entities coming in. They are inciting more and more hate, because the hate at this point is what's driving everybody to this.
Well, it's came to the Hatfields and McCoys, and it shouldn't be. Everybody's got their opinions. You don't have to agree with it, but you don't have to, beat somebody down for it.
Well, we're well past that part.
Yeah, I know, and that's so sad, and I hate this for you, Granny.
No, thank you.
You get your LLC, and this beating the drum. I mean, every time she stops up on that channel, she's always referring back. That's just her main topic as she introduces her introduction, that things are brought up, and it shouldn't be. Just Bullhorn Betty, what's she in everybody's business for? She needs to stick with her opinions and speculations and allegedly as myself, and not slam somebody. Now
That's all they're good at.
She's on Jay, and I hate that for you two girls, because I've grown to care a whole lot for y'all. Y'all are.
I just want to say
Thank
something
you,
really
girl.
fast. I don't mean to interrupt you, but people in the chat are saying that you used to be somebody that you're not. The person that's talking, I don't know who it is, but I know that it's not bitter tea. So that's not who this person used to be. So I don't know where that's coming from.
No,
So
it was a girl. It was
That
a
so I
Vicky has
just
a
wanted
different
to say
accent.
that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, go ahead. Like I said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to say that because I see it in the chat a whole bunch.
Yeah, I would recognize Bitter Tea. I talked to her a couple times here.
Yeah,
No.
no, thank you. That's Pearl's girl's opinion. Jen, thank you for becoming a member, and Froggy, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Hey, Steven.
Hey guys, I was sorry. Probably I got caught off surprise because I thought my camera was off, and then I'm like 1/4 of the screen. I was like, "Oh, what's up?" So, I'll just clear this up only because, like, I've actually reached out. Obviously, Sumner County is where I'm from, or Gallatin, Hendersonville. So, Bullhorn Betty does not have. It's not that she has denied motions. She just failed to file in a timely manner. She only has one of those hearings, which is set for January 8th, that says it's to finish it once and for all.
That's her
It's not.
criminal hearing.
Yeah, correct. Usually what you see is when there is motions that are moved and then moved to February, usually you'd see everything just move with it. But with this one in particular case, they're not moving it. It's said to be heard January 8th.
But
the rest
her
of them,
appeals that are in the circuit court now, not in the general sessions, those are showing for February 26th.
correct. Yep, that is correct. So apparently it was said, how did they word it? Something about she was like a day late on one of them when she was filing the motions. And the whole reason why is because I guess that she just honestly cared to take care of them in a timely manner. And I'm sure, I'm not taking up for her ass here. Everybody knows that, but I'm assuming she just, it wasn't like they were denied because screw you type shit. It was just from what I understood on the phone that it was strictly because it was just not filed in a timely manner. By the time they got to everything, I think dude, I've never seen such a disarray of actually cases, and how this stuff's getting pushed. So
I think she had 15 days from the time of the ruling to appeal. And of course, by the time she went to court for Chris's RO, the time frame had already passed for the 3 prior.
Yeah, it was and it literally by a day or something like that. It was, so they were trying to explain it to me, but they just pretty much said that on January 8th, she has a hearing that isn't going to be moved, and that, there is no, it's literally to be, I don't know how they word that when they talk. She called it something. It's when Like there is no ifs, ands, or buts. Like it's being heard the day they're going to resolve the case or whatever the hell they called it. They call
Now-
it something else, but I'm terrible at repeating shit.
Now, is she going to possibly face jail time on that? Is that when they're going to decide if she goes to jail or not, or what's the situation with that?
Word is that it's like a highly likely possibility. But that's B Tim. You know how that goes, man. That's word of mouth. I will say this. For Sumner County, they do not play about anything dealing with the domestic side, harassment, or the like protections of orders or orders protection, because of just recently in the last couple of years, we had one guy who would get out, murk 8 men, like literally murked 8 family members. And then you had another person where they were going through a dispute. They were separating. She locked him up. He was very abusive. He gets out that same night, point blanks her.
Yeah.
So Sumner County does not take it like those.
And this woman seems to not. This woman seems to not be, backing down. She seems to actually be accelerating. So it's like, if I don't know what they're going to have to do something where they have to rein her in and say, listen, you can't continue to act like this. And if you're going to act like this, you're going to have consequences. I told you this family was, does not exist to you. And you are continuously breaking every single order I've given you. So,
and in my opinion, I mean, like I said, she's gone 10 toes down since she left that courtroom the last time. And, she spoke on the DA, she spoke on Eric Craddock, she spoke on Sumner County Sheriff, she spoke on the judge, everybody. But I think what's also really going to seal her deal, and again, this is just my opinion, is that tattoo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Kirk having an opinion on Sumner County and all these people, it is America. You can have opinions about people, but it's a little bit different when you actually have like active POs on you. For that's a lot different. They tell you this people you cannot be talking about, you cannot be harassing, and they continue to.
I've been through the courts here with criminal, obviously, and I can tell you this: like what's crazy at one time, probably about 10, and I'm gonna say in my time frame, like 10 years ago, they were hardcore on the drug side of things, right? And when all this started happening with dude, it was weird. It was like for almost 2 or 3 years where you would see these order protections almost like just be ignored. They were doing nothing to protect people, really. And I hate to say it that way, but Sumner County just slacked on that. And it was more like people getting slapped on the wrists. And it was like, oh yeah, it's just a civil dispute, essentially, quote unquote, right, between 2 people. It's unfortunate it's in the court's hands. Well, sadly, when you have people losing their lives, and as we see, as the world gets a little bit older with us, these people there is some very just really demented ass people in this world.
Amen.
And I mean, I think we see that every day here on the internet.
Well,
sadly.
and I don't think that any judge, in my opinion, is going to take it lightly when you threaten a family with a pew-pew.
No, I think people are going to, there's gonna be consequences, I think.
I mean, the 8 or 9 minute video that was played in court the last time when, Chris was up on the stand, then Betty was on the stand, we've all watched it.
Yeah.
Like that's Betty's own words. It's not clipped together to make her sound like she said things that she didn't say. You can go watch it live on her video.
Yeah.
Like, so all of this rhetoric that she's out here spewing, that they lied under oath, they did this, they did it. No. And that Betty doesn't commit any crimes. Betty's had 43, 44 arrests in her lifetime. Like, you can't tell me that she's a perfect human. This is how Betty has treated every family of a case that she has gotten herself involved in. But this is the first family that has actually stood up to her and done something about it. And it was way over time due.
I agree.
Betty's she's such a damn super sleuth. She's over there right now going over how the font is different on emails. Therefore, they're not real. It's like, first off, you're such a sleuth. You don't realize that it depends who took the screenshot. It depends how the other person has their phone set up. Like these people, they keep digging their holes. Go ahead and keep saying that people fabricated those emails. Go ahead and keep
Well,
accusing
these are
them.
you know, she did a whole like simping stream. These are powerful attorneys.
Right. So of course they're trying to find any way right now to back up the fact that Castor's not involved, period.
These powerful attorneys will tame little grannies watching it, and then it turns out one of them not even fucking. He's like, I don't have anything to do with it. The other guy's literally in hiding at this point. He's fucking literally ducking and dodging, fucking talking to SF.
And if you really think about it, this is like the least of Betty's worries right now is to be worrying about some font on an email. Like, let the attorneys handle that. Like,
wait, shouldn't she be able just to call her attorney Castor and ask him what's going on?
I mean, you would think would be the simple thing.
Simple as a phone call.
You have to make, when you have to make content out of it and make money off of it, then you drag it out in any way that you can.
That's what all this is. Bingo. Or as the famous words they would say, bing bong.
Right. I want to say something to Vanish. Honey, I really respect you for going out there and doing all that you're doing and those that help. And the fact that, you know, Chris pulls up and he's got his boots in his truck and willing to hunt himself. So that tells me that Chris has been out hunting. You know, you don't just
not hunting, Pearl, searching.
Searching.
Searching, not hunting.
Well, searching. I'm
1, 2, 3, live, go. They're gonna say they went slip. They're hunting people in the woods of Tennessee.
That's why I wanted to correct.
Well, I mean, he was hunting for caves, and I hope you did get my my message to you about how you search for caves, and you can find them early in the morning and late in the evening, and that way you can mark them.
Yeah.
But I'm not here to be a deception to anybody. I'm just trying to avoid the argument.
No, well, I don't know if this panel's the right one for you then, my friend. I said, I'm not sure this panel's the right one for you, my friend, because nothing good's going to come from it.
Yeah, well, I just, you know, that's the reason why I started a different name on mine, because of the smacks, and probably I deserved them, but no, I was meaning hunting for caves. There's a ways for hunting for caves. I do it myself.
Searching the caves.
Well, you gotta find them first.
Right.
But anyway,
thank you, Anna.
That's how I do it. You know, if I want to go into a cave, I've been into some beautiful caves, and I just mark them, and then you can just go back where you
know, actually, I took what you said and actually put it in my notes, and then also something about you can if you look at like you said, first thing in the morning, depends on the overcast, obviously, but the sun actually, you could hit dark spots in the woods. I didn't even know that. So, like, say as the sun's traveling, if you follow the woods and it's on a mountainside or a bluff, even with the it's got to be slightly elevated to an extent, but you can see the shaded areas. I never knew that, man. I was like, oh crap.
Oh,
so cool. I'm on the map the other night, like sitting beside his house, which beside his home there is, I mean, within a 3.5 mile range, there's 17 of them. So I mean,
so you've seen the mist, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's how I search mine. You know, if I want to, you know, hit something else, you know, there's holes in the ground up here just like that, and I went in one, and I had to just go straight down. You know, I had somebody to hold me and
I have ropes with me, so usually I tie them with trees and stuff like that, and we're able to do things.
You know, I liked when you were talking to SF, he explained why you research the areas, because a lot of people were actually coming at you guys for researching the areas, like, oh, this was already searched and all this stuff. And he explained very perfectly well that sometimes during that search, they're kind of rushing to look for if the person's alive, and they're kind of just going through it. And now you're kind of recombing them to see if there's potentially anything. And I also liked the fact that he explained that he doesn't really recommend the parents to look, because during those searches, you can possibly find the remains of your loved ones, and you don't want that last memory to stick. And
I
to them,
agree.
you don't know what shape they are in, or if animals have come upon them, or not to be too graphic, but it's just the reality of the situation. And you
Right.
want,
It's the reality.
you're dealing with the possibility of a deceased person. I just love that was actually explained. It's sad that people don't actually listen and actually think to themselves, like, this is actually a fantastic explanation
Well,
of it.
you
Well,
know,
they don't use common sense, is what it comes down to.
I'm not finished. I like adventure. I like new things. I was raised on Cherokee Indian reservation, so you learn a lot of stuff as you grow up, and a lot of the old ways and stuff. And I just thought that would help with that mist coming out of the morning and late in the evening.
Yeah, that was
So
really
you
nice
tried
of
that
you.
out, Vanished?
Some Shady says, what does it matter if Castor's involved or not? Just name recognition? No, it goes much further than that, Slim Shady. First off, Castor is a well-recognized name, at least in Pennsylvania. They use that to bolster their claims and to follow up with that we are going against a former DA who knows much more about law than us, and that we are facing up to 20 years in jail. They ran around saying he is the former president of Donald Trump to hyper that there's no way, and this is actually a quotation, okay? There is no way that an attorney such as Castor would put his name on something if he felt it was frivolous. They used his name to add weight to their frivolous lawsuit. It was an intimidation tactic. It was a way to credential what they filed. So it's much more than just name recognition. It is way bigger than that, which is why they're not willing to accept the fact that he's not involved. That's why they're all over there scrambling to try to say why this is lying, why, look at the fine on this and look at that.
Yeah, because it basically is like a house of cards. Because if they're lying about something as big as that, to me, like your representation of your attorney is a pretty big deal, then what else are they lying about? So they have to disprove that fact that, there's something to it, because at the end of the day, I got this kind of epiphany yesterday.
No,
where I thought to
that's not good enough either. Sorry.
Oh, I'm
sorry, B Tim, but that's not good enough either to take away like, oh, well, he says he's only representing dog. No, he's not in this filing at all.
He's not in that filing at all. Like, it's zero, and that's the problem.
And he
But
wanted that cleared.
Yeah, because the fact is that it's going to be a shit show. He probably finally read the filing and said, "Oh fuck, this looks like fucking dog shit," and he just is worried that his name's attached to it. It doesn't really look good for, like, I'm a free speech absolutist and I'm trying to silence two random YouTubers because they have an opinion on a case.
Can I ask a question? So, Granny, like with obviously I know I've been talking to you behind the scenes when it comes to this shit. So I'm super confused about all this, to be honest with you. So with the filings, I'm assuming this, no matter what, did go through the law firm, and they put his name on, like,
yeah,
okay.
It did. It went through Joseph's law firm. It had to go through his law firm.
So it had to go through it, but Castor has nothing to do with this shit.
Castor's in a separate law firm. He's not with the law firm of Joseph Laziak.
Right.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. See, this is where I'm confused at. Because I've been trying to. I'm like, what the hell is? Man, this whole thing is.
So Castor actually does represent. He is dog's attorney in different situations. He's not attached to Laziak. He's not attached to At Night, other than Nick said that he represented him in something years ago. But he made it very clear via 3 separate emails that he's not involved in this litigation. And he even went as far as to say he wants to make sure everybody is aware that he's not involved in this litigation. Now they're trying to play word sale it.
Wow.
So.
Well, didn't he say that he represented dog in Texas?
Is that for the IRS thing? What is the Texas case?
I don't know, but he said in a situation in Texas only. He said, I represent him relative to a matter in the state of Texas only. And then again, I showed it straight from the email. You can't deny that. So they can just keep going. But all they're doing is making it worse for Castor. And it's kind of at this point entertaining.
Yeah. And one thing too, like I saw where you had pulled up an email where someone said that they emailed Castor, blah, blah, blah. Like, people, stop reaching out to these people. Like, you're not in any way, shape, or form type of an authority to receive this information. So quit taking this real life stuff into your own hands.
Right. And how about this? If everything else wasn't enough, how about after the fact that Castor came back and said, I'm not involved in this, so you don't have to add me to any further correspondence. How about then my attorneys turn around and they filed an amended, right? Because they filed the amended. Why? So they could take Castor off. So name counsel for plaintiff, Joseph P. Lasniak. That's it. That's all. Counsel for plaintiff, Joseph P. There's no counsel for plaintiff and then Joseph P. Lasniak and Bruce Castor. No, they amended their complaint to remove him off of the filing because he's not on it. That is an amended complaint. Counsel, attached, please find the amended certificate of service for the motion to dismiss with support and briefs that was filed on behalf. He amended it.
And the only thing I see about a lawsuit is filed in 2021 for breach of contract, and it's he's being sued for $1.3 million for breach of contract in connection with this is Dog the Bounty Hunter, for connection with his canceled television show Dog Unleashed. The lawsuit alleged that Chapman made racist and homophobic comments and illegally possessed a taser while searching for Brian Laundrie in Florida. Chapman denied the claims, but his daughters Bonnie and Cecilia said they were true. I don't know if that case is settled. I don't know if that's the Texas case, but yeah, he's got a couple of lawsuits around. So in 2015, he was sued for defamation. He faced up to a $30 million lawsuit. Yeah, so I don't know if this is just a new lawsuit filed in Texas or a case he's pursuing or something else, but yeah, I don't know.
Granny, I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm proud of you for being strong. I know it's been a pain in the ass, man. And I'm getting ready. I'm going out in the next probably 30 minutes to be back out there searching. I usually what I do is I sit here in the mornings and I'll plan my day when I go out there, so I'm not getting messed up out there, getting flipped around, because I try to focus on just directly certain areas. But I'll say this: I'm proud of you for continuing to get up here on the platform on yours, and for your supporters in your comments and stuff like that, man. Like Barbecue said it last night. For some reason, I don't know what BJ's ordeal is, but she's fascinated with you. I think she's obsessed with you, to be honest.
She is. It's fucking scary.
It's funny, man, because, and I mean this in a non-disrespectful way. What is that I'm looking for? When somebody just is so just envious of you and flatters you that they do whatever they can to imitate or try to make themselves seem as if they are just this all high mighty person. And
yeah,
it's sickening to watch how deranged some people could be with this shit. And it's a prime example when you do watch somebody, BJ. My name's been all in her mouth. We all know that. But nothing like yours. All I can say is just keep pushing, man. You got this, dude. And don't let this, because in the end, it sucks. We got to get through this bull crap. But I truly feel like within the next, I hate to say this because I hate to put a time on it, within the next couple months, though, things will come to light that will really shape a lot of things. And hopefully their little organized organization over there will be dismantled.
Okay.
It should be. It should be. Because I'll tell you, I can't fathom how anybody could have the sheer audacity to place such dramatic write-ins in a declaration seeking for the courts to silence me from what she considers quote unquote bullying and harassment, but yet speak about me every fucking day.
Yeah, she's just a whack job, an absolute fucking a whack job.
Well,
I mean, it is literally every day.
I think this, she couldn't get you with words, back and forth. She She started out with all this stuff about your body and stuff. But when you start, and this is me, fine, pick on me. I can handle it. I've been through a hell of a lot worse. And
Yeah.
I've had sores on my ass and could still sit down, but it don't bother me. But the thing
What?
about it is
I don't know.
you look at it,
I just got thrown off there, bud. I was like, what would you say?
Did you see the
Maybe.
super chat? If you're going alone, Stephen, please be careful.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
got you. Thank you.
But you think about it, you know, if you can't get to somebody, you'll go as deep as to their families. And that's where I come unglued. Don't
Yeah.
mess with my family. Don't
Well,
mess
that's what
with
she's
my
trying to
kids.
do.
And see that's she knows that will get you. She knows that was gonna be the one that hurt.
Well, to an extent, right? Because the truth of the matter is she's going to have a really hard time with a counter. That's it. Period. Like, you don't get to sit there and claim you're a victim of mine and you're terrified and you can't sleep at night and then stay live all night fucking giddier than a motherfucker talking about me.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, she wasn't up all night. She would take naps in between each sentence.
Right. That's true. I mean, you know.
Well, if you
Hey,
hear me
Steven.
snoring,
Here and there.
if
I
you
just
hear
have
me
one
snoring
question for
on my
Steven
end,
really fast.
it will be my dog. It won't be me.
Thank you. What was
She
that,
had
small
to-
town?
I'm sorry. I just had one question for Steven. Do you know if SF is going to court?
He'll be here the 7th.
Okay.
Yeah, he said he got a flight.
Yeah, I saw that. That's why I was just wondering, because I would just.
I'm sorry. I have
This is
to
just
say it
my
like,
opinion. You don't have to answer it,
yeah.
but I think it would be fantastic for him to see her put in handcuffs and walk straight back to the back. That's just my opinion.
Can I say this, and I hope nobody gets upset? I will. Do I think 100% that they will put her in handcuffs? No, because of that court case coming up. Now, do they lock people up and they go through court cases while they're locked up? Absolutely, they do it all the time, right? If they feel that she's a threat to some means, or if she won't come back or something like that. But I will say that Sumner County has a tendency to be lenient on
Right.
certain
They give
things.
leniency.
Yeah, and given that she's coming back and forth, I'm gonna tell you this, they absolutely do consider her coming back from Florida and stuff like that, because they don't want to. Here's the thing: piss her off, and let's say she's not. Well, I would say dumb enough to not come back, but she's not going to risk not coming back. But then again, with her coming back and forth, Sumner County, the amount of money it costs us to extradite and do all that crap, like the way they're seeing it is, well, we keep her out, keep her happy, keep her coming back, and when all this is said and done, type shit. Now, it could be if they're doing a final hearing, that's where we have that kind of like, okay, hold up, there might be something here with this one, right? But I do not get my I hate to say this, get my hopes up, I guess. But
what type of punishment are they going to put on her if there's not going to be jail time? Like, is it going to be a fine or something, you think?
It would be morally restitution to the family, and
probably. But what if she doesn't pay it? I mean, like, what's the chances of this? Like, let's be real.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, like, at a certain point, there has to be a consideration of an actual punishment. And if a person is just going to break, and also it's like, okay, you paid restitution. Well, she's going to make more money just shitting on the parents on a live stream than when she, with the money that they're going to say, hey, okay, you owe her $2,000. Okay, well, she could probably make that in a couple of bashing live streams. Like, there needs to be an actual punishment whereby there's consequences to her actions. Because, just being like, hey, here's some, here's a, slap on the wrist, it should be that you get jail time. You get your freedom taken away for a little bit because you decided to try to destroy, threaten other people's lives and act like a complete fucking unhinged crazy person.
Well, Tim, don't you think that they could just stop her from handling any case?
No, they can't. They can't do that.
Well, and I think, too, her criminal charges that she's facing on the 8th are different than her appeals. She's appealing, like, from what she said, she's appealing proper service, which
Okay, I
was
got you.
already proven the last time she was in court, because it was said that they literally went and got the DA, brought the DA up on the stand. DA says, yes, she was served properly. So I think those are two different court cases anyways, because her
See,
criminal charges are her criminal charges. Like, her criminal charges are her violations of the ROs. Her appeal, she's appealing proper service, which is basically, in my opinion, a delay tactic, because they already know that she was properly served. So I don't even know if the judge would even consider her appeal court date, like if he would even take that into consideration when like sentencing her, in her criminal case, because
Yeah,
he
because she
didn't
keeps doing
even.
it over and over.
Well, yeah, and
can
he
I
didn't approve her. Like, she put a motion in to get an extension, and he wouldn't allow it. So
can I say something though? And I know y'all are probably this is gonna be something that we don't agree on. Is that I've been locked up. Granny, I'm sure everybody in this world knows what being locked up, and I wish a lot of things on my enemy,
But
but I
not
don't.
jail or death.
Not jail or death, man.
Oh, that makes
Um,
you nice. I don't mind her going to jail. So I'm more of the fire and
B-Tips
brimstone.
go.
Like, I'm more of the fire and brimstone type of person. This woman has ruined a lot of people's lives.
Yeah, amen to that.
And fuck her. I'll
Oh, yeah.
absolutely, if she was hanging on that she was about to go to hell, and God said, you know what, do you pull the lever? I'd be the one pulling the lever. Up, go down. Because
No,
You
if
don't
you
need
said
to
this was
say.
BJ, I'd tell you go to hell. Like, I mean,
I
but
mean, like, this lady has, you don't realize what this lady has done to multiple people's lives. She's
no, I don't. So I only got a hold of
okay.
Betty
She
this
did the
round.
Don Wells. She got that guy fired. She said horrible things about that man and his family, people in that area. Then the Quentin Simon situation. Then some random lady at a furniture store. She went in there, live streamed it while getting into an argument. The woman, got her angry enough that the woman was like really pissed off and like kind of wanted to like say some words to her. Then put it on YouTube. And then when that lady got fired because of all the phone calls, she made a live stream saying that woman was racist against white people and that she would track that woman down in every single job she had to report how racist she was against white people. This woman is a horrible person. Every aspect of her life has been to destroy someone else's life. Her husband,
even like today.
yeah.
Even right now, she's going on and on about SF forging Castor's email, and he's going to be in prison, and he's got, and all this shit. And literally, all she has to do, instead of like, being a dumbass and trying to go about fonts and all that, produce your executed fee agreement that you signed with Castor. Point blank, period.
There
It's
is no
easy as shit.
Right.
There is no retainer agreement because these people are, they completely fucked up. I'll be right back.
And they're trying to say that they can't do it because they're, confidentiality, client attorney privilege. She is the client. She can waive privilege at any time. Waive privilege, you son of a bitches, and prove that Castor is absolutely involved in this litigation. Keep going, because the bar's going to appreciate all of this. If you think that we're going to go ahead and do the whole little keep it hush hush because we're both, I consider both you, co-workers, and I really respect, but we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not keeping nothing hush hush. Either Castor's going to come into the courtroom and he's going to straight up tell the judge that Lasniak and Nick fraudulently used his name in his filing and allowed their fucking ridiculous plaintiffs to continue boistering that he is their attorney, despite us having clear evidence he is not. And Castor's going to have to go there and say that against Lasniak, and they're both going to be sanctioned, or these idiots can learn to shut up.
Well, I'm going to speak up for something. I'm going to say this for SF, and I know SF wouldn't care. I think there's enough mutual respect, and I think anybody that knows me and Steve Fisher by now, Clue, Cletus, all these, Chris, everybody that has watched me and Steve together, that me and Steve, like, I have a friend, a lifelong friend, not just a mentor, not just somebody, like, he's a friend, dude. Like, I talk to him daily.
We get it, Steven. Get to the point, my friend. What do you got to say? He would never. We know.
He would fucking never do that.
He would fucking never.
He and even no matter how mad he was, like, he would be, it doesn't matter what he would want to destroy somebody. if it took going to the length of forging something or
Yep.
or it being completely false. Like, he's just not that type of person. He will make himself look bad before he would ever do that.
And he would have done that days ago. He would have done
Yeah.
it days ago if that was the case. So thanks
First
to
off-
Betty, he's now saying that clearly Joseph Lasniak has not informed the court, counsel, or litigants of Castor's non-involvement as demanded in Castor's email. For this reason, I proceeded with filing an ethics complaint this morning. Go ahead, Betty. Go ahead, plaintiffs. Keep talking. Bullhorn Betty is responsible for further escalating the situation by falsely claiming that these emails were forged and disseminated by me and others. It seems the 10 plaintiffs are in a race to see who can cause more damage to their own case. Amen. Giddy up. Giddy up, ponies.
I mean, it's clear to me. I don't even know why they are actually fighting this point when there's multiple emails of him saying, "Nope, I am not for this case." And instead of just saying to themselves, "Yeah, you know, his name, he's not involved with this case. I don't know, Joseph fucked up or something." They are just doubling down and acting like, "Oh, well, this was obviously a lie, and this is just a hate campaign by this group of people." No, the truth of the matter is that your side, you know, you have an incompetent, in my opinion. If a lawyer let something go like that in that filing, he's pretty incompetent, to be honest with you. You know, either he's incompetent or he's trying to do some shenanigans behind the scenes and using other attorneys' names to bolster his own.
Can I ask something, BTM? Is first off, why didn't you tell us about your leopard suit?
I'm not in a leopard suit.
No, that shit, dude. I wish I could have got your reaction on that. I didn't get to hear it.
It's disturbing, to be honest with you. It's weird. I don't know why he thought that was a funny thing. It's weird, actually.
I thought, we said, so I was on the phone with Clue, and I'm like, dude, I bet BTM is probably eked out right now, man. Like, what the fuck did I just listen to, man?
He may be
That was
upset
weird.
with BTM.
I don't know, man.
Benny
go
Boo
ahead.
says, all of this stuff, just a big distraction, takes away from finding Sebastian. Yeah, why did his father do it? That would be my question back to that statement. Why did his father allow that? Again, if you look at this legal filing, this is submitted. This is on the court docket. Go check it out. You guys like to, look at things. Counsel for plaintiff, Joseph P. Lasniak. That's it. Where do you see Castor on that? He's not.
No
you know
way.
why? Because he's not involved in the litigation.
Yeah.
What more fucking proof do they need? But matter of fact, as stated, show us where you signed. Show us your executed fee agreement with Castor. Show it. Show where your signatures were. They can't.
No, they're not.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I personally think this whole thing was created. Like, they put that whole document together to scare you, to kind of like force your hands, because in the end of the day, it's pretty scary to get an injunction, any sort of legal document when an attorney serves you. It is a scary situation because majority of people go through their lives without ever dealing with lawsuits in there or injunctions or anything like that. And I feel like that whole thing was created as an intimidation tactic, and they really pushed the online intimidation to the X factor. They had their favorite YouTuber read it. They started stating it was federal, that you could be doing time, that you were in this big trouble. And they talked about, and then they said, "Oh, well, we'll let you out. Not only will we let you out, but we can help your channel grow if you if you give us a little money and you do what we say." And the truth of the matter is, this epiphany came to me yesterday, and I thought to myself, literally all these channels are under the control of a man who came into this case with a cell phone and a friend of an attorney and some guy named Hung. And basically they all sold off their, and it's just they're literally taking orders from him out of nowhere. This guy popped out of nowhere, just acting crazy, talking about truth serum and stuff. And now they're getting packages and reading his tweets like that's their boss. It's fucking weird.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, how much money does this man have? Like,
None. He tried
Really?
filing an injunction on a fucking repo company to stop them from getting what is owed to them, which was under $8,000. This man is king of filing these type of. I won't give him king of frivolous lawsuits because we all know that's JLR, but he's right beneath them.
Yeah, but like, you have to realize this guy's wearing the same goddamn glasses he was wearing when he got arrested years ago.
Right.
Not only that,
What these people don't understand is when Brittany's live all night, she's obsessing over me. She's attempting really hard to get me to snap back so that she can have something to try to bolster her fucking ridiculous, outrageous, dramatic declarations. But what Brittany doesn't realize is, first off, is the growth in me. Okay. I'm going to take a moment to acknowledge my own growth. I am snapping back via the courts, motherfucker. I will see you in PA. That's where my snapback comes in. So keep poking. Keep it going. I love it. I love it. Every single night when me and my attorney speak on the ridiculous shit that just came out of your mouth, the defamation, the slander, the harassment, the attacking of my family, the talking about my lady biz, every single time you hit that live stream and you drool my name in between your nods, we are documenting it to hell and high water, because I will see you in the courts that you asked me to meet you in, bitch. Checkmate.
Feels like you're like when you do something like that, feels like you're like a pro wrestler from like the 80s and you're about to like, that's just sounded like you're like,
you know
I'll
what?
see you in the arena.
They should be, Tim. Play some fucking background music as I walk in, motherfuckers. Okay.
That would be legit.
Like
how
the rock,
confident I am.
the rock is here. Background music. The rock is here.
Any of it. Give me my champion belt. I am going to lay the final smackdown, and I am done with it all. Years of this.
That's my girl.
But I mean, and the sad thing is like they literally sold their channels out to a guy who's, in my opinion, is probably like is completely broke. I mean, if he's a millionaire, because if you're running a business, you have 10 employees, right? Let's say he has like multiple employees. Think about it. You've run a business, Chris. You have to pay them a salary. I think you probably do a 1099 or something. I'm not sure. Or 1040, I think, or anything, right? You have to keep upkeep of your business. You have to pay employees. There might be insurance. There's travel that you might pay, lunch. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars, possibly a month. And you're telling me that you're selling cups and mugs and you're advertising on Bullhorn Betty. And you like, no, the math is not mathing. As a person that looks into financials, sometimes the math is not mathing. You are not a millionaire. And for you to offer, you're pledging $200,000, and now you're making up ridiculous comments like, we believe Sebastian was trafficked for work.
Well, to be fair, Nick initially came out and he pledged 25,000. Then Dog came out and pledged another 25, making it 50. And then we all blinked, and because the tips were so hot, they then raised it to 200, 2,000, whatever the fucking subliminal message they tried putting in that shit. It is now allegedly, according to them, currently at 75,000. Okay. And they keep raising it because that's what you do, right? Think about this logically.
275,000, you mean, not
right.
2,000.
Sorry. There's almost 1,700 people in here. Okay. Think of this logically. What reward fund goes up as the tips are hot? None. Because if I knew something at the rate they're raising it, hell, I'll meet them when they're at 3,000, 300,000.
Can I say something? Look here at this. Now, what DA's office stays updated on a case weekly? I mean, you've got TBI, FBI, you've got the DA don't step in unless it's criminal.
It is criminal, Pearl.
Yeah.
It's big criminal.
And I think that they've got some goods. They're just trying to work the proof out.
Well, of course. And we've learned that from other cases. Absolutely. But what's not working out is this, alleged intelligence agency. They're not working anything but their fingertips every time Nick is triggered at night.
Yeah, they're
what I think is totally embarrassing is like yesterday when Nick called in to Betty's show and Betty's sitting there, I've loved Nick for years and I've been a fan and blah, blah. It was just a couple months ago when they announced that Nick was coming on board with Seth that Betty did a live stream talking about how she doesn't trust him. He owes her $400 from a story that he sold to TMZ and yada, yada, yada.
Not only that, not just that small town girl, but that they lied and said that they found the remains of a deceased woman that they didn't find.
Oh, Lord.
She said that Nick and Dog both came along and took credit for finding the remains of a deceased woman that they weren't even there searching for. That's what Betty said.
And then they turn around and ran their mouth saying, who has SF found? So I can tell you right now, I'm not going to give the name, but I can tell you that just in the last month and a half, that SF brought somebody home that was missing 5 months, going on to 6 months. And he spent a lot of time out there. So every time he would leave here, that's where he goes, is going back to Arizona. And to bring a young man home, to me, like, it's funny because all right, let's talk about LA Girl. SF called that at the very beginning. Called it, put everything in there. But no, SF's just a terrible person. He's wrong about it. Steve is one of the most. Here's what I'll tell you about Steve. He's logical. He's just logical. Riley Strain.
How about the fact that he's credentialed?
Yeah, credentialed.
That's a big one up on everybody else. He's actually credentialed. I mean, over here, just a few months ago, not only was Nick trying to, in the words of Betty, slob the knob behind the scenes, trying to get them involved to be on part of their quote-unquote team, but here goes Nick. There's some great true crime films coming out this year. This one reminded me of S. Investigates. Be sure to follow him for help in tracking down missing people. He's one of the few who do it for the greater good, not just the clicks. We journalists, streamers, and other media influencers usually have different agendas. Steve genuinely focuses on the victims without a show to accompany it. I respect that.
Well, hold up. He just admits right there that so what does he say? Steve genuinely focuses on the victims, without a show
to accompany it.
We journalists, streamers, and other media influencers usually have
a different agenda. Right there, Nick is a man that he usually has a different agenda, but Steve is one of the few who don't. It's right there. Right, this was just in July.
SF is straight up. He is. I love him.
Right, and then he says we need more Steves, but we also need our streamers to amplify the stories when they go untold.
Do you know I've watched him turn down? So he's had this last time he was in Hendersonville, and I hope he's okay. I'm not going to give too much info, but what I'll say we were standing there and we were talking and we were discussing the essentially the route is what I'll say. And I know Firefly says something. I just dropped a thread earlier when I was talking about in due time. No, I'm only saying that I truly believe in my heart. I pray to God that this doesn't go on any longer, more than 2 months, because this shit has gotten so out of hand. Like there's a point to where you can't fall apart no more. Like there's like this right here is the biggest, like just I don't have words for it. B-Tim's better at coming up with words for this shit than I am.
Well, and if you look back, Betty has been
the word would be shit show. That would be the word.
Just simple like that. I got
well,
you.
and Betty has been 100% jealous of SF for a while now. Like she has even
100%.
admitted to filing complaints against his license because SF, in my opinion, is everything that Betty strives to be, but can't and isn't.
Do y'all want to know something else about those filings that Betty done? Mind you, when they get filed, he absolutely has to answer. Have you noticed that if you go search his name or anything on it with those filings and ask if he's been in the wrong, it's funny, there is no wrong found. And he literally has to go in front of a board and explain all this shit, show what all's going on. And do you know what's funny? He turns around, walks out, and guess what? Nothing happens. It's just, okay, it's just another frivolous fucking complaint. And it's sad that he has to experience this and keep going through this while he's out there actively working for families. This man doesn't just sit in California, man. He's all over the U.S. What I was talking about a while ago, dude, while we were sitting there discussing stuff, he had countless phone calls from Nancy Grace, other news agencies trying to get him to come up. And he would tell them, hey, right now I am working a case. Is there any way we can schedule this at a time that's more, convenient? I've got, this case going on. And it was to see him. He don't give a shit about the news. He don't care about that shit. What he cares about is the person he's there for, which in this case was Sebastian. And people. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Most importantly, they can't stand the fact that Fisher is so quick-witted, and not only is he, Not only is he credentialed and is he legitimate and is he everything that Nick just said he was in that tweet we saw, but he's also he's quick-witted, he has a great sense of humor, and he trolls the trolls, and it absolutely drives them nuts. And then I love the stupidity of these people that were saying, well, if he's a private investigator, but he's doing it publicly, so he's not a private investigator. Well, how about that private intelligence agency, my friends? They're pretty public.
Exactly.
Does that make them a public intelligence agency?
Well, that's what's going to get Betty every time, because she's out here spewing nonsense, saying that he's a private investigator, but he's telling the public information. Like, you have to learn the difference. You have to learn the definition of a private investigator before you can even come out here and try to make a complaint on someone's license, because you don't even know the meaning of it. And you're over here talking about an unscrupulous PI.
Right.
SF is very smart, and I'm pretty sure he knows what to say and what not to say and what to keep.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. What he's not doing is saying, oh, break-in update in the Sebastian Rogers case. Somebody hurt our feelings. That's what he's not doing. He's not clickbaiting every day that he has this break-in information that turns out to be nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing but something for all these idiots to put in their titles to bring in viewers that says break-in update, and it's literally nothing. And again, I showed it the other day, and I'll show it again. This is a typical, and I do mean typical, tactic of theirs. When they turn around and they act like they have big things happening, like this, for example. This is in 2021. Due to suspicious activity and attempts to access your content from various countries where government engages in censorship, Original Media Group, which is now known as what? Corporation initiated cybersecurity rapid response plan. Dun, dun, dun. It's recycled fucking tactics to sound like they are something they're not. Just like they use RICO to add weight to something that is weightless.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, and how embarrassing is it for Betty to go into a courtroom where she's facing 4 ROs and for a judge to tell you that you don't have your press pass is fake, you're not media.
Yep.
So stop all the nonsense, but yet comes out of here and says, I'm media, I'm press, I'm a child advocate, while she's calling a child defective that's missing.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, I got a skedaddle, Granny.
I beat him. Thank you.
No problem.
I beat them.
No, they're not even. No, because it's all just. It's like I swear it was stated in one of his court hearings that he watches too much like police-related shows. I don't know if there's an actual disconnect there. I don't know. Obviously, I wouldn't know, but it's just not. And the fact that these people eat it up. Oh my goodness, do they ever? Oh, at night posted something breaking. Then they take 30 minutes to dissect it because it doesn't make sense. So they're like, what does this mean? It means nothing, but somebody was bored and tried to make something. That's what it means. Sorry to be the one to burst it to you, but holy hell. And this is where people go for true crime.
Will you take my prescription mode off? I am a subscriber.
Huh?
Down here where I'm was going to type in, it says subscribers only mode.
That means you're not subscribed.
No, I am subscribed.
I don't know why it would tell you that.
I don't know either.
A phone company can usually trace a block number, although it typically requires a court order. It's primarily used in cases of harassment or other legal issues. Yeah. So that's exactly what the Bower Sox did. SF taught us that the other night, that if you do star 57, it was a great lesson to hear. That they can immediately tell you where that comes from. You're right, Lady K9. And I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Yeah, and I think, Betty's call-in show the other day, where she was agreeing with people that were calling in, saying the most horrendous things about Katie and Sebastian, and yet you've got the bio dad showing up in support of BHB for her court cases speaks volume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you got Jennifer Coffendorfer saying, I give you credit. I give you credit. Pearl, they said if you exit the YouTube and come back, it should work.
Oh, okay. Well, y'all have a good one, and it's good to talk to all of you. And I just wanted to come in, and
You too. It was
it's
nice to meet you.
It's
it's nice
always a
to meet you,
pleasure.
sweetheart. Stephen, you keep up the good work, honey.
Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate that a lot.
And I'll be seeing you later. Y'all have a great day.
You as well,
You
Pearl.
too.
Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Yeah, I mean, it's just vile and disgusting, in my opinion. And this stuff shouldn't even be talked about. Like, what is that doing in bringing Sebastian home?
Well, and that was my question, right? Small town, like you say, we are now going to rapid phase 4, right? On Monday, we're bringing all employees on deck. Why weren't they all brought on deck to find the missing now 16-year-old? Why are they on deck to find out who's calling your probation officer?
Well, what was phase 1?
Right. What was phase 1? Right. You were starting to say what you are filing when Stephen wanted to say about SF. Will you repeat that? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't recall. My attorneys had to file an amended to take Castor off, if that's what you're talking about. And then again, for people who are unaware, go check out what the DA had to say about your little idol over there. Go check this all out. You people just sit there and, you're really, I mean, it's really just, it's a shame because what it comes down to is that we have a missing child that is behind all of this. And I know people are like, "Oh, this is a big distraction and this is unfair." I didn't call.
Breathe.
Right.
I'm trying to. Sorry, guys. I stepped away. I'm sorry if y'all could hear me, man. I'm over here dying. My nose is stopped up like a mug.
And you're still searching.
Yeah. Oh man, it's just a sinus infection. I hope.
Don't you love when they say that too, though? When they're like, "And the only people that are searching for Sebastian are getting threats." Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah,
Where's
just
the
like
proof?
BJ, they're losing their jobs and they're doing all this.
Taking their
It's like,
livelihood.
yeah.
When literally their own litigation, their own filing states that Seth Rogers only conducted 4 searches in 10-month period. He literally put that in a filing. 4 searches. But y'all keep on.
But he needs all this money to go out and search for his child.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
You
love
know,
what
and I'm
Tony
not
said.
saying that, and I want to make this very clear. I'm not saying that any parent has anything to do with any of this. Like, I truly don't. But it's just the mockery that one side has to make because they feel like they have to get a point across that
Right.
isn't even needed. Like, think about how much time they have wasted. Like, when Seth did that Christmas show,
Mm-hmm.
how much did he talk about Sebastian?
They didn't even have his photo up.
I mean, I saw him going through, clicking on super chats and members and, this and that. Like, what was the point of that?
Well, and you notice, Small Town Girl, every time we come out with something that, pretty much shows the games that are being played, they suddenly have breaking news on Sebastian. And 9 out of 10 is a breaking news for immediate release that they're going to have breaking news. You ever notice that one?
Oh, yeah. And just like, the one night, I don't remember what the actual topic was. It was being discussed. Oh, I think it was the email that Betty now runs around saying there's proof that Katie and Chris were trying to get rid of Sebastian in 2022, which is totally false.
Right.
But then that same night, Tony comes out and says that there's 4 or 5 CPS cases when.
And what did SF say?
I'm sorry?
And SF came out and said there's 8 against Seth.
Yeah. And again, like, Tony did that to paint a narrative that, again, Chris and Katie are guilty when there's no proof of any of that. Seth is the one that has come out and said that Sebastian went to school, told his teacher that he was going to get his ass beat or something like that for not cleaning his room and his dad's. And what did Seth come out and say? That he took him home and played the bloodiest scene of Mortal Kombat
Mm-hmm.
to show him what an ass whooping is.
Right.
So, like, make this make sense.
Or I love when I see them in chat saying, who waits 9 days? Who waits 8 days to plead to the public, to mention their missing child to the public? When does Seth come out?
After Chris and Katie.
Oh, okay. Okay. So when they're using these red flags against the Proudfoots, quite frankly, they go against Seth as well, right? Like if we're getting rid of a child and, you know, it's so ridiculous.
Seth said he was out there at Chris and Katie's for the first 3 days. Why wasn't he on every news channel there?
Himself.
There could be. Why wasn't he calling them up or, saying, hey, I'm the dad. Let me talk about my son. Let me give a description of my son.
Right.
When he got that call and text from Chris that morning, saying, Sebastian was missing, why didn't Seth try to call Sebastian's cell phone on his drive from work to Chris and Katie's?
Look at this now. Look at
That's
this.
so true. It says,
They're now saying that it's up to 45,000, but they're also, for witnesses, they're willing to facilitate airfare and accommodations for individuals willing to testify under oath in New York City or Philadelphia, logistical support for witnesses to deliver sworn statements to officials and fully cooperate in any ongoing or forthcoming legal proceedings. Get the fuck out of here.
Legal proceedings for what? For what?
For us. For what they're accusing me of. That's
so
why
they're going to allow.
So
let me hold up. So let me get this straight. So what they're fixing to do is entice those that are sitting in the comments that help partake in the just what I would call rituals of every night, going through here, dismantling and bullying people, allow them to partake now into this circus by paying them to come up there.
Yeah.
And did you say 40-something thousand?
No, 4,500.
Oh. They're going to pay them.
They're now going to pay for witnesses. They're going to pay for witnesses. Yeah.
But
that's how I took it. I know
when you go to court, the judge is not going to they're not going to care what somebody's opinion is, or they're not going to care about some stupid screenshot. Like, that's not, and they want to say that this is a RICO case, but they want screenshots. Like, their name is the intelligence. Why do they keep coming out offering money for information?
And then this is part of our broader commitment to ensure accountability for those who have perpetrated these malicious actions. You fucking son of a bitch. This is the shit I'm saying that's gone too far. This is what has gone too far. When you sit here and you say these weird ass things, you say these things like, oh, somebody in Pennsylvania is operating with somebody in Florida, and that's also worked with somebody in New York and Tennessee. You are sitting here inciting hate against me based on your fantasies. This is what I have an issue with. This is fucking weird. I can't even take it anymore. Like, something has to be done. This is like endangering people. This is not okay.
I'm going to type something in back chat for Granny. Hold on just a second. You all keep going. I just wanted you to know it's going to be on there.
What filing, Scout? When they're saying they'll fly people to Philadelphia, what filing? What other litigation are they in, Scout? You tell me, what other litigation? This is not about the RICO case. What else is it about? Because they have nothing else filed in Philadelphia. So what else could it be, Scout? I would say so, Shelby Lynn. But I'm not an attorney. Support for witnesses, in addition to the increased reward at night, will facilitate airfare and accommodations for individuals willing to testify under oath in New York City or Philadelphia. Well, what else could it be?
Well, And
I
again,
wonder if I can smile. I'm going to have to call an attorney today because something's got to give. The more they write these hysterics and the more they implicate me in doing something nefarious, the more at risk they put me. This is not okay.
well, yeah, and it's not just you, but I mean your family,
Mm-hmm. We already know
because
they're stalking my minor. Well, I mean,
they
sorry, she
have
just
come
turned.
out and like broadcasted your name all over the internet in their court filings. Like everybody knows.
Hey, Granny.
Yeah.
I'm fixing to pop off here. I'm gonna get ready to go. I gotta get all my stuff together and my drone put up. So, thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
for all
having me
you do,
up. I
Stephen.
appreciate you letting me hang out, man. Guys in the chat, thank y'all so much always for your support. I see y'all's comments. Granny, you know what I'm gonna say. Hang tough. You got this, man. I know it's. I couldn't imagine going through what you're going through. I mean, I think I get a little bit of it right, but not to the degree of what BJ's doing. Like I've never seen anything like it, to be honest. And just know you got this. You'll prevail. Just keep trumping on, and you're doing it the right way, man. Go through the courts. It's unfortunate that you're having to do it this way because you are a mother of, you're a mom, and you taking care of your kids. This is taken away from you in so many ways and your children. And I don't agree with that at all. But know you got my support, and there's many other people that's there supporting you, and you're going to trump on through this shit. And hopefully in time, we'll see this dismantled. I hope.
Yeah, I
Thank
agree.
you,
And
Stephen.
Stephen,
I
I hope you
appreciate you.
keep up the great work, in searching and, doing what you're doing, no matter what, people are trying to say. It's obvious you're out there for one reason and one reason only, and it's not a side.
Mm-mm. No,
And
I've said many times, like, I'll always question Katie, man. She was the last one. Like that, but the thing is, there's no evidence. There's nothing on all three of them, man. At the end of the day, I have nothing. I don't, and you want me to be real, there's a logical part of it. Like, I can't care. I can't, he's still missing, and none of this has brought him home. None of this going back and forth has brought him home. None of this is helping bringing him home. So what I care about is just finding him. So, and if that means going out there every day, coming up empty-handed, at least I know it's one more area to roll out. So, and at a certain point, I heard that. I did hear what Tony's dumbass said, and I'm going to say this: searching around the area, like, first off, when you're talking about searching around the area he went missing from, I think that makes logical sense. Considering I'm not an investigator, and I'm not this person. What I'm doing is rolling out locations he may be, in hopes that there's a 2 to 5% chance that he's out there.
Well, how would they know where to look?
Ain't that funny? Ain't that
It
something?
is. I mean, even JLR said, why was Seth leading us over here and over there and all these weird places? Yeah.
Well, in the many trips that, again, Tony has made to Tennessee for prayer vigils and this and that and supporting Betty in court, but yet there's
do y'all know?
nothing of him out there searching the woods, but he wants to
Nope.
criticize everybody else that
The
is
only
out there
time
in the woods.
The only time Tony was here and it was a search type effort was when it was nothing. It was for the TV, for the news, and it was on the water. And what they didn't know is I was on that same very water, only a half mile from them. So, again, I could say, you know what, and I'm gonna say it like this: they can make you see what you want to see. Just remember, there's real things that go on behind the scenes that, like, for people that's out here starting, I'm not the only one, and I don't mean to say it like that. I'm not trying to take away from the others that are doing it, that are actively here. We know who those people are. For Granny, out of respect to Granny, I won't mention, I don't mention the other creators, but what I'll say is they're here, and I'm not taking from them. There is others, but to the degree that we need it, to the degree that we need people on the ground and actually in the woods and doing stuff, no, there's nobody there. I haven't ran into anybody, and I'm sure I'll go out there today and not run into anybody. And it's still an open call out that the second week of January on the weekend, that Saturday, I would hope that obviously know the date now, which is Saturday. You're more than welcome to show up. Doesn't matter the sides. Run your mouth in the woods. That's what I would tell you. Just get out here and look. We can
Yep.
Well,
all
and
do
it's
this
not like
together.
if all these people show up to search, even if you don't like so and so, you're not going to search next to them. I mean, you're not going to be holding hands in the woods
Right.
searching for
No.
somebody. So again, put that BS aside and search and be there for the main reason of all of this.
Right.
Well,
And
the
I mean,
good thing is the upcoming administration will be there in January, so have no fear.
I don't know. They said that they were going to use them to get to us too. So they're going to. That's I remember it saying. What did they say about Trump? They
Yeah,
had
that's
meetings
what I'm
scheduled
saying.
with Trump.
Ridiculous.
Oh boy.
This whole thing's ridiculous. It's beyond ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like right
Well,
here.
y'all have.
You as well, Stephen. Thank you. Sorry.
You too.
No, you're
I'm
good.
angry.
You're good. Bye.
This right here. These individuals span 3 separate regions in Florida, with Actor 1 operating independently and Actors 2 and 3 collaborating while maintaining separate properties. Linked operations to multiple states. This effort extended far beyond Florida, with additional leads pointing to activities in Pennsylvania, New York, Tennessee, Illinois, and Texas. Fuck off already. I mean, honest to God, when is enough enough?
Well, they keep saying with the main one being in Florida, like they are so convinced that SF lives in Florida.
Well, I think they're talking about JLR, to be honest. But my biggest thing is, if that's your main one, then why the fuck you coming after me? Why am I listed as a main defendant? How many times are they going to admit that they literally have nothing? They had a plaintiff last night say, and the RICO filing was to stop the bullying and harassment. Bullying and harassment does not equate to RICO. Okay? This is endangering people. Stop with the riddles. They need to use fucking names.
If everybody remembers the one day that Betty came out and was screaming, like she was going to sell merch to stop the online bullying. And it was a picture of Queen Bee, I think, with a coffin or something.
It was the avatar of a dead bee with a coffin.
Yeah. And that same day that Betty comes out screaming about online bullying, she wished death on Queen Bee.
That's what I mean. These people are so full of contradictories. It's hypocrisy at its finest. But here's the difference. We've surpassed it via YouTube. It's not like just being a hypocrite on YouTube at this point. We have people in active litigation fighting to clear our names from these type of fallacies. And Slim Shady, you can say it's not me, but they put my name on a RICO. Oh, they said they will announce the names. Then announce them now. Stop it with the bullshit and the riddles and the implications, because they are endangering us. This isn't a game. These are people LARPing as an intelligence agency, in my opinion, trying to incite hate towards people because we hurt their feelings with our commentary. This is bigger than a tit for tat on YouTube. This is bigger than, anti-bullying while showing that you're actually a bully. It's so much bigger than all of that.
Well, and in that one thing that At Night put out, I don't know if it was last night or whenever it was, saying, again, it's going back to saying that people are putting out, disinformation about this case and this and that. There's no one can make that judgment because nobody knows what happened. Nobody knows where he is. So how can anybody say that anyone is hindering an investigation or saying stuff that isn't helping an investigation?
Who could be doing worse than them at this point, honest to God? Like, again, less than 24 hours ago, it was $1,000 being offered. Less than 12 hours later, it's $2,000. Now we're up to $4,000, because this is how intelligence agencies operate. They just raise the reward so rapidly. Come on. I mean, at what point, small town girl, do people start using their logic? At what point? Because I feel like I'm going fucking insane, quite frankly. This is why I don't go live anymore.
That's what I said. Like, you've got an intelligence agency that's putting out all these tweets on Twitter, saying they'll give you $4,000 for this and that. What type of intelligence agency that is supposed to be that big and have all these resources need to go to the public for information? Why aren't there bigwigs able to get anything and everything that they need.
Right. They said they work for the elites. The elites.
I mean, wasn't it Nick in one of his lives circling that parking lot talking about they're able to get VPNs and
Oh yeah, that they sent out subpoenas to all of the social media sites, and they're going to get all the. That's another thing. People are there screaming about leave subscribers alone. My subscribers have been harassed to hell and high waters. They've been threatened with getting IP addresses. They've had their comments highlighted. They've had their comments reported. They've had their comments used in a virtual smacking contest. And you want to say leave subscribers alone? Threatening people with litigation and doxing?
And my big question is, what defines a true crime channel and what defines a hate channel?
Right. Would you say it's the channels that are constantly calling others hate channels and the dark side and inciting hate and a divide and trying to manipulate people? Would it be that side? Of course, Castor was notified. We're not playing his little fucking I'm unaware bullshit. Of course he was notified.
I mean, just because someone has a criminal record or has gone to jail or been arrested or whatever, they can't do true crime.
Right. Jenny, thank you so much for becoming a member. Thor, with utmost respect, this is now about me and my real life, okay? I never signed anywhere on a dotted line that I would cover Sebastian and Sebastian only for the next X amount of days. I have a right to defend myself. I understand you don't like it. That is fine. Nobody else did this except for his own father and his greed team. At this point, this isn't about that. It is about me. It is about the LARPing that is going on and the fact that people are using his disappearance to shoot out and I don't know, try to get revenge on long-lasting vendettas. I don't know what else to say.
Well, Castleberry,
you think I'm having a good time?
I've heard it say that that Seth has not been able to search because something to do with it could be affecting his disability or something.
That's sure as hell what the green team said. That's sure what they said. And then they said that he was driving around handing out flyers, but then they said the other night that his truck's been broken down for a really long time.
Yeah, since after that one court date of Betty's, in that he's been paying $400 a week for a rental, which is mind-blowing to me. But
why does anybody need to know that? So people can take pity? Why does everybody need to know? Well, I don't really have much income, or I was saving up to buy a good. Why? Why?
Why? And he's got a motorcycle. We've seen him ride it.
Right. We also saw him get a shit ton of donations. So why didn't he fix it? I know. I mean, listen, I understand what people are saying when they're like, what about Sebastian? What about Sebastian? Well, I don't know what to tell you. They made this what it is, not me.
Well, and with Tony coming out and saying that Seth's been working, like, again, that goes back to everything else that Tony has said. Like, I don't believe anything that comes out of his mouth. He hasn't proven anything truthful, to that I have seen. I haven't seen him put out any receipts, saying, oh, well, Tony put out Seth's time card of the night that Sebastian went missing. That didn't show anything. That showed that there was some sort of investigation still going on.
And it showed that he clocks his own hours, that they're like, that he enters them.
That it's on the computer. You didn't show any videotape of Seth walking around the jail that night.
Right. I mean, again, if he wasn't, if he himself admits that he is a suspect, they all are.
Nonsense. The $400 a week Tony said the other night on Justin's is what Seth is paying for a rental car because his truck was broke down for 6 weeks. So during those 6 weeks, he was paying $400 a week for a rental car to get himself back and forth to work.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
So I guess
it
that
was
part of the
placed.
filing that says he's endangered at work now just isn't really true because, well,
Yeah. I mean,
how much real can it get, Slim Shady, than showing the actual transactions? The actual, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know. I guess it'll all be shown in the end with this court hearing, but I don't, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. All the contradictions, all of the hypocrisy, all of the blatant lies, all the streams that have been hidden. I don't see how people don't see it.
well, yeah, and it goes back. So Seth now has a monetized YouTube channel, and it's Seth Rogers, Sebastian's father. He wants everybody to know he's Sebastian's father. We all know that. But again, back to your Christmas show that you did just not too long ago, there was no pictures shown of Sebastian. There was no, and the pictures, in my opinion, that he has shown have all been younger pictures of Sebastian. So again, that's not helping and locate Sebastian today. And why was he so quick to monetize that channel and have $50 memberships? If it wasn't about the money, one, you could not monetize it, or two, if you did, they have 99-cent memberships. Why not that kind of stuff? But you're going, to the very top.
Well, of course, because people made him feel like he's entitled. And moderator, if Seth Rogers is coming out saying he's a suspect, then I'm going to believe Seth Rogers.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of that one Vinnie Politan interview that he did, he told Vinnie Politan that he was a suspect, and Vinnie jumped off. He cut that live as quick as he could.
Yep, and I haven't seen Vinny back with him since. Not since. I don't see where you're saying Nick Barris put an update. I don't see it. Thank you, Mickey.
What are they saying, that there's an update from Nick?
Yeah, but I don't see it. There was a man that was arrested in Tennessee for after false online post caused community panic.
Yeah, I did see that, but I haven't. Excuse me, I haven't watched it, so I think we should watch it if you have time.
Yeah, it's pretty much just an article, but a guy apparently wrote on Facebook, TBI agents began investigating allegations of threatening social media posts on Facebook pages, Gibson County, Tennessee, Crime Watch, and West Tennessee Crime Watchers. During the course of investigation, agents determined that the details of the social media posts were unfounded and traced the postings to the page administrator, Carson Lane Pledge. He's pursued innocent, so, whatever. But yeah, apparently he just was posting fake things and was making people go a little crazy over it. Oh, it wasn't even showing. Damn it. And he got arrested for it. Causing, it's like you can't scream fire in a theater. Hey, Rhonda.
Kind of sounds familiar to some stuff that we have actually seen and watched.
Absolutely. Sure does. Did you see this little boy they put the Amber Alert out for last night out in Bailey? They thought that, so the grandfather was driving the car and he parked in the driveway for a moment with the toddler in the back seat. When he came out, the car was gone. So they immediately thought that the little boy, like the car was kidnapped with the boy in it, was, robbed with the boy in it. But here, where it was found, they're now wondering if the grandfather didn't put it in park and the car rolled.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I saw that they did an Amber Alert, and then I did hear, I think I saw some people saying that he was found safe or something, but that's as far, I didn't see any more than that.
Yeah, they're not sure now because of the way the car was found, if the grandfather actually left it in roll and it like kind of rolled back and landed there, or if there was an actual attempted carjacking.
They didn't put the Amber Alert out for like an hour or something. I thought I heard somebody say, so they couldn't see the Explorer that was nearby, like before they put out the Amber Alert? I'm confused.
No, I guess not, because apparently like rolled down into like a mud type of area. I forget exactly how to say it. But where it rolled to the car could have rolled back they're not sure yet if that's the case or if it was an attempted car robbery. He was found safe, yes. The little boy was safe.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is very weird. But thank goodness he was found safe. And I guess now they're trying to figure out if he was actually, if the grandfather mistakenly didn't actually park the car, or then you have that girl
ABC, that's what Granny's reading right now is the Amber Alert from Knoxville last night.
Mm-hmm. And then you have the teenager that was found. A young Tennessee teenager was rescued after she went missing with an out-of-state adult and rescued from a tent in the woods. 14-year-old female missing from Tennessee. How many people blamed her parents? Alexander. This grown man, Alexander, kidnapped this little girl from Tennessee, took her to a different state where she was found. Thank goodness. He brought her a tent, food, and water and dropped her off in a wooded area.
Yeah, that's been my fear through this whole thing is the whole, kidnapping, met someone online type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's been my number one thought this whole entire time. And something else that just came to mind too, you hear all these people talking about, he would have never left the house with no shoes on, I think, Katie carried him out through the garage, blah, blah, blah. Do you not think that all the surveillance that the police department has, that it wouldn't have shown Katie backing out of her garage in the middle of the night if she truly did do something like that? Like, again,
Right. And
this
then
goes back to common sense.
Right. And then if they use the logic that, well, when she went out that morning to supposedly look, that she still would have been seen. If she got rid of, gosh forbid, a body out of the car at that point during the morning, it still would have been caught on camera somewhere. They can follow exactly where a car goes.
Well, and it was said, Seth said it on an interview. I'm trying to remember or trying to think of whose interview it was. Oh, it was the lab where he was talking about how like the police department like took all of his electronics and blah blah blah. And the night that he couldn't watch TV, he called Chris and Chris said, "Hey, well, we've got Sebastian's PlayStation or whatever, come over and get it, blah blah blah." And Seth had even mentioned then about Katie having a dash cam.
Right.
You don't think that police would have had that dash cam and within 24 to 48 hours at least reviewing it?
Of course they did. They had the dash cam. They have the audio from it. They have the box inside the car that tells you every move the car makes. Remember, gosh, what was that guy's name? His wife went missing.
I was thinking of the Alex Murdoch, because they used his car stuff, where he like threw out the wife's phone and
yeah, Barry Murphy. They did the same thing. They knew when his car door opened, when he took a right turn. They knew everything. And I'm not saying that the Proudfoots are definitely innocent because I don't know. I mean, obviously, there's a good chance that we don't know. We don't know what we don't know. I've never once said they're innocent, and I never once said they're guilty, and I never said Seth was innocent. I never said he was guilty. We don't know what we don't know.
No, and I'm not saying that either. But I mean, again, I'm just using common sense when it comes to some of this stuff that is being thrown out there. Like, if you truly think about it, we're 10 months, over 10 months in. You don't think that the police department has looked at any and everything during these 10 months, and because Chris and Katie haven't been arrested, there's no evidence. So stop.
Joe Madre, she's mentioning that because of that Texana lawsuit. Well, here's the thing. Even if there is no evidence and they're trying to build a case or whatever it may be, again, there are so many different things that could have taken place that is but that doesn't sell. It doesn't sell as well as, oh, the mother did something or the horrific shit that Betty was saying the other day. And let's not forget, while we are literally talking about wanting people to come forward with information, when there is a over $200,000 reward up for grabs, you have Betty over there saying snitches get stitches. That's your true crime leader right there. That's the great team right there. Hard at work.
Yeah, she's such a idiot. And I mean, and that's based on my opinion coming from me. Like, I don't know. I'm fairly new to, not new, but I mean, like, I started like really watching all of this during like the Quentin Simon, and
Yeah.
just to see like how she has spiraled. I mean, I watched her that day where she jumped out of her car, at Terry Bowersoft, and I mean,
Yeah, it's
I about
insane.
hit the floor.
It's insane. And again, this is we are adults, right? We are adults, but to sit there as a alleged true crime advocate, as an alleged true crime creator, she's only true crime, she's an advocate, she's all these things, to state a juvenile thing such as snitches get stitches just baffles me. Honestly, it just baffles me. And the reason I think they're doing that is because it's going to be hard to get an injunction or get anything and continue the money grab that I believe is taking place with some of these people. If they come out and say the odds of Sebastian being alive are very slim. At first, don't forget, Nick came out saying he could be lying dead in a ditch. Dog came out and said he's likely in the pipes in front of the Proudfoot's home. They stated they believe he's dead. Seth Rogers even said it's a recovery mission. But as soon as they, filed this litigation, all of a sudden Sebastian is alive. They have good reason to believe he's alive. I pray he is. I'm not taking that away. But I do find it weird that they were on national news saying there's no way he survived because he needed medication. And now all of a sudden they're adamant he's alive. So which one is it?
Well, and then you've also got Seth coming out on live or on a interview saying that he didn't give Sebastian all of his medications that he was supposed to take.
Right.
So, and then you've got Betty in that one where she was in that hotel, when she was out there stalking and harassing the Proudfoots or whatever, talking about being from Skid Row. Like, what?
How about when she said, I witnessed it all. I witnessed a drowning, a stabbing, a shooting, a this and a that. Oh, please.
And you compare Betty's track record on missing children to SF's, there's no comparison. Betty has not found one person.
Well, here's my biggest question. Why? All right, even if you don't like SF, right? Even if he rubs you the wrong way, you don't agree with him, playing, like kind of, you don't agree with his tweets, whatever it may be. Even if you don't agree with that, you cannot take away the fact that that man is credentialed and the others aren't, period. Why are they putting all their eggs in a basket with an unsafe foundation that is built on nothing but fallacies and lies and LARPing? Why aren't they thankful? Why are they even going at SF, going at Crabtree? Why are they going at people that are actually boots on the ground looking? What's your problem with it? You should be thankful.
I don't understand how any parent of a missing child could not be thankful to have anyone out searching anywhere for their child.
Because it's egos. It's egos. What we have right now has nothing to do with Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And that's so unfortunate, but it doesn't. What we have right now is a bunch of adults that have had long-lasting vendettas or dislikes towards each other. They are using the disappearance of this child to pound their own chest and dominate each other. That is what is going on. And a bunch of us are unfortunately stuck in the crossfires of it all. And it's sickening. But this has nothing to do with Sebastian at this point. It doesn't. And I won't be convinced otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I keep going back to that Christmas live, but I mean, that proved a lot to me because, You know, and then I remember, you know, when Seth originally made his channel, I believe Tony came out like in the first live that they ever did and said that they would be providing weekly updates. That still hasn't happened.
But they instead what they do is they go under the alt of at night and they post breaking news for immediate release, and it's always nothing, because if they had something, Sebastian would either be found or somebody would be arrested, period. So these daily breaking news and important update and, you know, all these big words used to act like they're doing something, I don't get it. People fucking buy it. I don't get it.
Well, and that's what I said before. Like, you've got creators that are literally pulling up at night's tweets, dissecting them, thinking that they are just the most important thing in the world. People, creators saying, oh my God, I got to text, I got to send this to Nick. Oh my God, I got to. Why would you send something to another human being that is not law enforcement? I don't understand.
Right. If you found it to be that important, why isn't it going to TBI? Why is it right? Why is it becoming nothing more than a clickbaity title? I can't stand it, honestly. It's also despicable. It's to the point where I don't even care to like engage in it anymore. I don't. I just
I mean, I don't know, you know, and the thing that's always, you know, struck me also is, you know, 3 days after Sebastian was reported missing, his father creates a GoFundMe. And anytime he did a live with T Rev, Pascal, anybody, they
that was the
were
stipulation.
dropping that GoFundMe like crazy.
That was part of the
Why?
stipulation. In order for me to do an interview, you have to have my Cash App and drop the GoFundMe, both of which are in other people's names. So when Tony's over there saying shit like a government employee can't defraud disability, anybody can can fraud disability. Anybody. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, and that's why there is currently a lawsuit against Seth
Right.
for frauding. This person feels that Seth has, you know, committed fraud.
Yep.
You know, and you also have to think.
I'm trying, Creative Kate. I'm trying.
Seth also accepted hundreds of hours of PTO from his coworkers.
Right. On top of everything else.
Yeah. So again,
listen, D'Angelo here says, I do think it's good to have agencies like at night for tips to get through, because criminals don't usually call cops with any info they have. Doing it anonymous through other channels could help find Sebastian. With utmost respect, you can make it anonymous. If people are unaware, let me be the first to tell you, you can anonymously leave a tip with TBI, with LE at any given time. You don't have to give out your name or any of your information. You can leave a tip. Secondly, if they were only there, no, I completely, utterly disagree with you, because they're doing more than just collecting alleged tips. They're doing a lot more than that.
They created a tip line.
Right. And then guess what? Many creators, including people on their quote unquote team, have stated that they've called the tip line 3+ times and never got a damn response to the animated call. So really, how much is it helping?
That was just like that night that day that Terry Lynn sat in that parking lot and called that tip line with all that BS.
Oh yeah, that was gross.
Like, where's all the outrage from Seth about that? Like,
well, why isn't she
that's
being
not
sued for
funny.
that? Right.
Yeah, that's not funny.
Right. No, it's not funny at all. None of this is funny. None of it. I'm
You
like
know,
literally just at a point. It's so utterly gross that I'm not even gonna lie. Sometimes I get so annoyed when I hear people, and I know some of it you have to find humor in it and shit. I get it. I'm totally not, obviously like BJ saying they called Nick's poon. Like, yeah, that's hysterical and shit. But I'm like so surpassed the point of like humor and all. I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted. And quite frankly, I'm getting even more disgusted that people aren't more disgusted because it's not entertainment, man. It's not. Not only is this Sebastian's real life, is it the Proudfoot's real life? Is it the Babersock's real life? Is it Seth Rogers' real life? But it's also our real lives. It's my real life. It's barbecue's real life. It's everybody that is a creator that lives in the states that they're naming and alleged to be part of these mafia-like techniques. It's all of our real lives.
Yeah, and if you called the FBI, the TBI, Sumner County, you can tell them that you want to be anonymous.
Absolutely. There are anonymous tip lines with the TBI. Go to the TBI, go to leave a tip. It even asks if you want to be anonymous. Be anonymous. But if you stand behind your convictions of whatever you're calling in, which unfortunately, due to the current antics, a lot of it is pertaining to the bullshit that is being pushed. Like the green hoodie guy that's now a woman, and people are analyzing that footage and looking at other patrons in the background, accusing them of crimes. Oh, did you see this guy with the hat on? Why is he wearing a hat? Rah, 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 rah. I mean, innocent. So a lot of the calls that are coming in, which is why I've always stated, do not call TBI based off anything I'm saying. Because if I'm bringing it to you and I feel it's important, you better believe I brought it to TBI first. Even them saying like, oh, Truth withholding crucial information. You don't think Truth went to fucking TBI and FBI and whoever else with whatever information he has?
Yeah. What, and you don't think LE did not have the Texas Roadhouse footage 10 months ago?
Right.
Just because they received it and put it out doesn't
Amen.
mean that law enforcement doesn't have it. Law enforcement doesn't owe any of us a single thing.
Nothing.
So
And
because
neither does anybody else, right? What Truth knows, he doesn't know. What they think I know, I don't know. Whatever SF finds out, he doesn't know. Nobody on the internet is entitled to diddly wat squat. I don't think people understand that.
yeah, and I mean, you can come on YouTube and call yourself an investigative journalist.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that you can call these places and get any information because you're a nobody. You have
Absolute
no
nobody.
credentials that would allow you any pertinent information in any case. But what I also find,
Over it,
odd
man.
in a way is if you go back and look at Betty's past,
Mm-hmm.
almost every case she says that law enforcement is corrupt in the area that she's that child went missing or whatever, like Georgia. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, she has came out recently and said she got Chief Hadley fired. He's still the chief. He came out and said that it was a money-making circus, which is exactly what it was and exactly what Sebastian Rogers' case is.
It's what every case is to them.
I mean, there's a reason why law enforcement says those things. You normally don't hear law enforcement have to come out and address social media like they have.
And 2024, 2025, just wait. It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. Purple Dragon Shaw, I'm so sorry you experienced that. She said, one day I want to share the story of when my autistic daughter left the house while I was in the bathroom and I couldn't find her. That half an hour to an hour was the worst of my childhood war trauma. All I want, Sebastian, be found safe. Yeah. But I do think we also need to understand. I don't know. I just.
Well, and that's why, in my opinion, I really truly think that Betty's facing jail time. Like, she's crossed the lines, and this stuff is not going to stop. Her vile behavior has gotten worse since Quentin Simon, and it's going to continue to get worse if she's not put in her place.
Right, but you got to remember, the judge isn't aware of all of that. They're not on YouTube the way we are, so they don't know what she did in Quentin Simon and what she did. They don't know her history.
No, but she's done enough in this case to get 4 active ROs on her.
Yeah. Yeah. It's up to a good attorney to seek out that she seeks, time in jail for it.
And I truly, truly feel that this judge and this DA and Eric Craddock are not playing on. I mean, she's come on live and told people to run against Eric Craddock.
Oh, I know. And then you
She
had
doesn't even live there.
then you had a plaintiff the other day dox Eric Craddock's mother. Like, that's okay now? Now you're going to lead harassment towards his mother? What are you doing?
Well,
And these
just
are
like,
the people that have the nerve to put injunctions out because they don't want any fucking response to the ridiculous antics.
yeah,
They want
just
to
like she did the judge's grandson.
granddaughter.
Oh, I thought it was grandson.
Mm-mm. But I agree. I mean, just like they did with Chris's daughter. I mean, all of it. This has all gone so far. It's just, I just, again, I can't understand it. And it's unfortunate to say, but I'm leaning towards with Crabtree. I don't think Betty's going to go to jail. I know everybody wants her to, but I don't think she's going to. I don't. I think she's going to know how to push us out as far as she can to get away with as much as she can until there's no choice left. I'd be shocked if court even takes place coming up, if it's not postponed somehow again.
I don't really think it's, I mean, again, my opinion, I don't think it's going to be postponed. I think she's tried to do that and the judge has already denied it. I think he's already,
Done with it.
I think he's done. And I think he has seen what she's been doing. I mean,
The
the
tattoo
day
may
that
be
she
enough.
didn't go to court, instead of going to court, she's firing up a live and the DA and them are watching it live in the courtroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's just dogging all of them. That's what she got a warrant for and what she was arrested for. Nothing that anybody else did to her.
Right. Yeah. But, again, it comes down to the Proudfoot's lawyers, what they present to the courts, how strong the arguments are, and if they find it enough. I mean, this woman went and got Sebastian tattooed on her. And that leads me to my next point. For people that are saying, oh, well, when the father of a missing child puts an injunction on you, okay, well, when the parents of and the grandparents of a missing child put a restraining order on you, doesn't that go both ways?
I mean, you would think.
You would think, right? I mean, if the whatever. I mean, it cracks me up how hypocritical they are, how oblivious they are to what they're even saying and doing, and how much they just keep shoving their own foot in their mouths. I mean, Betty spent more time analyzing this morning if emails are real based on font instead of just simply pulling out your agreement or your discussion with Castor proving otherwise. But instead, you all went on to defame people, including myself, by stating that these are forged. It's a real shame that you people don't know when to stop, when enough's enough. Swallow your pride.
Well,
Pride become default.
and to spend that much time going over the fonts and this and that, and, again, taken away from discussions of Sebastian, like what she did, and I haven't watched her live. I'm just going off of what people are saying. But why does that have to be proven right now? It's going to be proven in court no matter what.
Well, they're egos. It's egos. That's what I'm saying. None of this is about Sebastian anymore. None of it. It's just not. And there's nothing left to give an update on Sebastian with. There's nothing. We have nothing.
No, and that's why, she's doing her lives, unscrupulous PI. Let's go over Tennessee law. Betty,
Right.
You don't know the law in your own state.
And I just wonder what her title was today.
I don't know. Like I said, I haven't watched it.
Because I'm sure it has something to do with breaking news. Oh, here's Nick Barris thing. Let me throw this up really quick and then I'll probably wrap it up. Sebastian Rogers remains missing 10 months after disappearing. This was posted an hour and 24 minutes ago. It remains a confounding mystery. Sebastian Rogers, now 16, vanished without a trace from his Hendersonville home 10 months ago on February 26. Rogers is a teen with autism. The Amber Alert is active and the case remains open. So many have continued to follow this tragic story, and the teen's disappearance of one of the top stories of the past year. It was reported he left the house barefoot and with a flashlight. There was a massive search effort from ground and air in the first 8 days after the teen disappeared. This is the system we use to track all of our searchers, said Ken Widener. Widener spearheaded the search using crews on foot and drones. Is this on? Okay, it is on the screen. Divers searched ponds. Spelunkers were called to check sinkholes. The white dots are caves, and they've all been searched, Widener said. Bloodhounds and cadaver dogs were used. None of them were ever on the trail of Sebastian. Search efforts then continued for months. There was simply no trace of the teen, no scent trail, no security video, nothing. I'm hoping he is still alive. That's my main hope right now, that he's not deceased. I pray he is alive and someone will see him and call 911, says Seth Rogers. He shares custody of his son, Sebastian, who was staying with his mother and stepfather the night he disappeared. He wasn't with his stepfather, but whatever. His mother was the only one home, there we go, when Sebastian went missing. Authorities said all three parents have fully cooperated. Any evidence of foul play, I asked? We have not cleared anyone, but we have no evidence to support foul play, said Eric Craddock. The sheriff concedes that there are parts of the investigation that cannot be shared to the public. To date, authorities have investigated hundreds of tips, but they have produced no confirmed sightings or solid leads. As a result, social media has taken hold of the case with wild speculation from less than credible sources. Anybody want to guess who they're referencing here?
Ouch.
Yeah. Uh-huh. The rumor mill on social media has done nothing to advance this case. There you go. There you go. Nothing has been done to advance this case.
And they wonder why the sheriff's office will not provide updates.
Right. But even now, nearly a year later, no one has given up on Sebastian. The case remains open and authorities continue to track down leads. Everyone hopes for a break that leads to Sebastian, a break that sees him return safely to his family. He needs to call 911, and if somebody has him, you need to give him back. He's my son. He belongs to nobody. But damn it, he's mine. He's mine. I know. Some of these quotes, man, I'll tell you.
I didn't see anything in that that mentioned that this has now turned into a criminal investigation.
Nope. What I do love, though, is February 26th, he's mine. Damon, he's mine. The conversation about having to send him into a living facility. I don't know. I mean, what did they say? Let's play the what if game.
Yeah.
The what if game.
And he's not just Seth's child. He's Katie's also. And this bull crap that is spewing also saying, basically saying Katie didn't want Sebastian, so she ran off to the Navy. First of all, you don't just run off to the military. She joined the military to support her family.
Even Seth said that himself. The other rumor they're all running with right now is that Sebastian was underweight. He was underweight. Let me tell you, Sebastian was 5'5" and 120 pounds. That is the 50 percentile. If you people, I don't know, do you take your kids to doctors often? They do that. They put their height with their weight, their body mass and all that, and then they give you a growth chart. And he's at the 50 percentile, which means he's not malnourished by any means.
No, and for a former FBI agent to come out and say that the way that he ate at Texas Roadhouse made her think that he was starving to death. Like, are you kidding? I would not want you any part of the FBI on any case that I ever had to do if that's your analysis.
Well, how many people that are starving and withholding their kids from food take them out to eat, for fuck's sake? And here it is. For a child who is 5'5" and weighs 120 pounds, it's important to consider their age and sex determined. Sorry, let me put the age in. Hold on.
I mean, has she never been around a teenage boy?
Right here. At 15 years old, 5'5", weighing 120 pounds, generally within the healthy weight range for a teenager. Not only that, but if you go to YouTube, because right before this all took place, I watched a little short video of an autistic child. He wasn't, as high up on the spectrum as Sebastian was, but he was trying salmon for the first time. And he was eating that shit so quickly.
Mm-hmm. I mean, for Christmas, I don't know how much my nephew weighs, but for Christmas this year, my nephew is 6'6", and I bought him those Adidas sweatpants in a size large tall. So for being 6'6", if she looked at my nephew, she'd probably say he was starving, and he's far from it.
Right. That's what they do. Here's this video. Check it out.
I'm trying. You do.
Watch how quick.
This is really good. You're eating salmon. Do you know that? A fish. This is a first.
This is really a first. Not even one other time in life.
Want a potato too? Not yet? Okay, we'll finish the salmon first. Yes. And then you keep doing it, okay? Oh, yes. Yes.
Is that kid also starved?
Oh my God.
High five. It's so good.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
Right there. Is that kid also starved?
No, but God bless him for eating salmon, because at my age, I still can't eat salmon.
I know. I want nothing to do with that. He did love it. It's a beautiful video. But
Yes,
it's
it
proof,
is.
look how quickly he put 3 pieces of salmon in his mouth. There's plenty of videos like that to say, and not only that, but we don't know if the footage we know it was slowed down. We don't know if it was sped up. We don't know anything. But I do know you don't take your child out to a steakhouse if they're being starved, for fuck's sake. That's the most oxymoron thing I've ever heard. And my question then returns back. If Sebastian was malnourished and if he was being starved, where does Seth's accountability come in any of this?
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. If he was truly being starved, why didn't Seth take custody of him immediately? Because it's not true. And all the police had to do.
Well, not even custody, but where does his accountability come in as the great father? Why didn't he step up in any format? Not even just pertaining to custody, but any other way.
Right. And all the police had to do was, I'm sure, probably pull bank and credit card records from Chris and Katie to see how much money they spent on food a month. And just like SF said last night, anything that he has asked for from Chris and Katie, they've gotten it to him in like 30 minutes. That doesn't sound like a guilty parent to me.
Right. Well, and to be honest, I don't think the police are going to say, hey, show us your monthly expenses on food, because again, he's in the healthy percentile. It's just,
I'm
not
saying
logical.
that. I'm saying, like, you don't think that the police and the FBI and everybody has looked at financial records of them?
Right.
For
well, maybe
other
not.
things.
Maybe not, because Seth was on the news when he said, do you want my banker records? So maybe they haven't, to be honest.
Again, some things I think are just said for sympathy and...
Right, to create hate. He learned early on that his support came at the dislike of the Proudfoots, and he went full force into it. Even so much so that he was willing to make a deal with, it was willing to work together with the Proudfoots, but then JLR and Pascal and Dolly all went live and said, you know what? People are now going to want, refunds off the GoFundMe, and you're going to lose a lot of support. So that night he was back on there trashing them. The people are to blame for it too. He learned my support comes from the dislike of others. And and a lot of these people have learned that. Betty's support comes from the dislike of SF that they've set forth. BJ's support comes from the dislike of me that they've set forth. They've learned. These people don't support these people for who and what they are. They support them for who they're going against.
Well, and I think a lot of Seth's problems came immediately from that growing GoFundMe and that Cash App going off.
Yes,
so early. Because, that video that I think Jay might have played yesterday, at that the very first prayer that they did when Seth's mom and them were there, you know, Jaden was there. Like, so where's he at now? Where's Seth's co-workers that donated all of this PTO time to him? I haven't seen any of them out searching. I'm not saying that they haven't, because again, they don't have to be on social media, you know, to say that they're searching. But
No, but the fact that they're saying, oh, well, he went to go to Oklahoma to spend time for the holidays because he didn't have any family in Tennessee. Okay, well, why didn't he go to his family, or why didn't his family go to him? If he was willing to travel, why wouldn't you go be with your mother, who's also first holiday it is allegedly without her grandson she loves so much? I mean, it's all odd. No family, no friends, or everybody, all the support and friends and family are YouTubers. It's weird. I mean, if it was the Proudfoots, if they came out and they did the same thing, oh, we went to Clue's house for Christmas, and we're going to host a holiday special, and we're going to have all these YouTubers come up, these people would be tearing it apart, saying, where's the family?
yeah, and for people to say that Katie didn't recognize Sebastian's 16th birthday, how do you know? She is a grieving mother who is missing her son just as much as Seth is. So it's okay for Seth to miss his son on his 16th birthday, but it's not okay for Katie. It's not okay for Chris.
Right, because they've dehumanized them. That's why. Because in these people's minds, they're guilty. They're guilty without being proven by an arrest or a court of law. They're just simply guilty. Therefore, they're not human anymore. They're allowed to degrade them. They're allowed to threaten them. They're allowed to say the most vile and ridiculous things about them.
Well, and I've seen people say, well, they could at least arrest Chris and Katie, or, you know, especially Chris, for the 5 CPS reports. Okay, well, then they can arrest Seth for the 8 CPS reports.
Right.
Like, it goes both ways, people. Like, if you are
they just
truly here for Sebastian, stop the nonsense. Stop going into these chats saying, Katie, where's your son? Katie, what'd you do to your son? Chris, where's Sebastian? Stop it.
Well, they would freak out if people were doing that. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people do feel like Seth has an idea when he's making promises of, oh, he'll be home at this time and we'll have this resolved by this time. And, some people do feel like Seth has an idea of where Sebastian is.
Well, and if I remember correctly, Seth was the one that came out during an interview and said something along the lines of, I know where Sebastian is. I just need the resources to get him, or something like that. I know where he is.
That's exactly what he said. He said, I know, I have an idea. I know where he is. I just don't have the resources. You're stupid, half pint. You're stupid. Not only are you stupid, but your photo's goofy. Your photo's goofy. You look like the type with that haircut to say some stupid ass shit like that.
Clue Junior or Clue?
Y'all going to jail.
Clue Junior. Going to jail.
Clue JLR. Y'all
for
going
what?
to jail.
For what?
She looks like the type to ask for the manager. So who knows? Who knows? You know who's really crying about they might be going to jail? Nobody ever here. Nobody over here.
I mean, again,
y'all going to jail because you don't push us. Seth is innocent, damn it.
I'm not saying that Seth is guilty. I'm repeating stuff that Seth has said out here on social media.
Right. It doesn't matter. Anybody who doesn't push the whole woe is him, they're all of a sudden they're going to jail, they're criminals, they're masterminds, they're mafia, they're all these things. It's fucking unbelievable.
And half pint, you want to know something also? I've never been arrested in my life. So I couldn't tell you anything about jail because I've never been there.
I've never been to jail either. Never say never. I'm not saying that, but there are people that are claiming that.
I'm going to knock on wood because, you know, and something else I want to say too, you know.
I'm not saying he had 13 CPS reports. I'm not saying that. There are others that are alluding that Chris had 5 and that Seth had 8.
You know, and people are real quick on that side, to throw up, that Katie has lied. There's inconsistencies, in her interviews. It's proven. Well, let me tell you a little something. And I said this a while ago on Queen Bees. I've listened to the interviews and I have not heard Katie lie about anything. These people, if you have not ever been in a traumatic situation, then you really don't have any right to talk. Because when Katie, first talked about a noise, or whatever, and then it went to a thud, that's not lying. Like when you've been in a traumatic situation, you don't remember every specific detail that
Well, what?
happened.
And that wasn't even the case. She heard a thud, and Nancy Grace said, "Well, what if she heard a loud noise?" And Nancy Grace said, "Well, what kind of loud noise? How would you describe it?" So then it became a thud because she was asked to describe it. It's that simple.
Right. And so
Oh wow,
this
Angela, thank you.
this crap that that they keep saying, Katie's story's changed, that's why we think she's guilty. Katie's story hasn't changed.
Not
She
that
has
we're aware
given
of.
more
No,
detail about, you know, certain instances, as time has gone on. And that happens when you've experienced a traumatic situation. Like,
she hasn't
trust
even
me.
spoken that much. I don't even know where people are getting this shit from. It's so redundant.
Right. And trust me, I have been there. Like, my husband passed away in front of me. I
I'm
did
sorry to hear
CPR
that.
on him. And when the police and the coroners came to my house that morning, I was so distraught that, like, some of the questions that the coroner was asking me, I remember looking at him and being like, what the F are you asking me? Like, I could not comprehend. Within
I
a,
do. I'm so
go ahead.
sorry that you experienced that, but I will say, and no disrespect, but it was 8 days after that Katie gave her interview. So respectfully, the whole like initial trauma part of it wouldn't be an excuse for, but she hasn't given inconsistencies. So
Right. And that's
not
what
that
I'm
I'm
saying.
aware
There
of.
haven't been inconsistencies. It's just the details that
Elaborating.
she originally gave have been more detailed, but nothing's changed.
Not
I
that I'm
mean,
aware of. Not that anybody's ever directly pointed out. Not that I can see.
it says Greenie wasn't the first time she mentioned a thud. When we were listening to Bobby's interview, she told the neighbor, Katie.
Had heard a thud. I don't know. The first time she said it during an interview that it came out of Katie's mouth was when Nancy Grace asked her to elaborate. That I recall. I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean,
I'm
so
not going to sit here and lie to you all. I know you're like adamantly defending them, small town girl, but I'm not going to lie to you all. I find them shady as fuck. I'm sorry. I
no,
do.
and I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that people shouldn't, but again, you know, the police have had no reason to arrest any of them. So quit making things up that are trying to push a certain narrative.
Well, what they're trying to do is they're trying to strong arm the police by inciting the public to make an arrest. And look how well that worked out in the fucking Wells case. It doesn't. They don't go off feeling, they don't go off your personal dislike or your personal traumas or any of that. They go off the facts. And right now, it sounds like they are either A, building a case, B, we're missing a lot of something, which would give a lot of insight to a lot of people. But then guess what? There goes the whole money grab that's going on. And
Yeah, and
either way,
and
the police are working.
well, yeah, and just one thing too, like, people experience people's trauma affects everyone differently. So,
Absolutely. Suz,
like,
I'm so sorry for your loss.
to say that like someone would kind of be over the initial shock in 7 days, like, I don't think that that's necessarily true because you're still within that week. And I'm going to tell you right now, like,
Well, I don't mean the initial shock, but I mean she wouldn't be like you were like saying, like when the coroner was asking you questions stuff, you were kind of like, huh, like that. At that point, like knowing she was doing a news interview, she was somewhat coherent enough to do so.
But we don't know if she was medicated. We don't know any of that.
We don't know any of that because she won't come out and speak. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like, honestly, they have the power to dead a lot of these discussions, but for some reason they won't. And they have that right not to. I'm not saying they have to, but they do have the capability of coming out here and ending some of this curiosity. I took as much as I could of the opportunity on Truce to do so. So much so that people said I took over the entire stream, but I try to bring the focus back where it belonged. But I mean, unfortunately, we don't know because Katie doesn't speak a lot because look what the internet did when she did speak. So it's
well,
a
and that's what I was
catch-22,
gonna
man.
say. I mean, they come out, they give an interview, they're totally, I mean, the interview's dissected, they're talked about in all these negative ways. Chris is out on camera now searching. Now people are just attacking him, wanting to know, like, why all of a sudden is he searching now? Well, just because you haven't seen him on camera doesn't mean he hasn't been out there. So again, why would these parents come out and talk when it's not going to do any good? All it's doing is just throwing more fuel to the fire because these people are going to dissect every single word that they say.
I do agree with that. I mean, I definitely agree with that.
And again, it all goes back to Chris, Katie, Seth, the police department. None of them owe social media a thing. And when you've got the Eric Craddock's talking about how much social media has, like, just the rumors that have exploded on social media, why would you come out again and give updates when they're, in my opinion, they're going to be turned around?
Right. So at some point, something has to be done. And that comes back to Sumner County. They need to put their foot down, take control back of your investigation, and stop the nonsense. Only they have the power to do that. Nobody else.
But again, I mean, in all seriousness, like, that could take away from looking for Sebastian from the police department if they.
No, I respectfully disagree. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. If Craddock got up and did a press conference and he put some of this shit to bed, it certainly would not take away from. If anything, it would help the investigation for Sebastian, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I see that. I do see that. But again, I mean, this Nick Bears just released this statement, and there's quotes in there from Eric Craddock. Again, nothing says criminal investigation, but yet you've got another side over here saying this is now turned into a criminal investigation, and Katie has pleaded the fifth. What?
Right. And that's exactly why they need to come out and make a more clear, concise, and direct fucking response. They need to stop. You're right, Ellie. I don't. I'm sorry. That was ignorant of me. I don't. I've never experienced it. I'm thankful I never experienced it. I'm sorry for all of you that have. I don't understand it. I'm grateful to not understand it. And I apologize that I didn't understand it. I just feel like part of me feels like there's so much that could be resolved that's not being resolved. And again, I feel like I'm caught in the crossfires, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I think it's bullshit.
Yeah, and I mean, and I can see where you're coming from, with your name being thrown in this and stuff. So yeah, I can definitely see things from that side, and I've never been in the position that you're in, so I can't say that I know what that's like and that it's going to get better and so on and so forth because I've never been in that. But I mean, just my opinion from things that I've seen and stuff that has come out from that side, like, I'm going to agree with everyone else that has said it. Like, I don't see that this is going anywhere, but that doesn't take away the fact that you still have to spend money to defend yourself,
Yeah.
And I think that that's terrible. Especially when at the end of the day, this is all about a missing child, not somebody's feelings being hurt over something said on the internet.
All right. So, I mean, this is a bigger thing. You have people using this child's actual victimhood, his alleged CPS reports, his disappearance, alleged abuse, alleged this, alleged that. And then they're crying about their own self-made victimhood in the meantime. And I'll never understand it. And people sit by and they accept it. They're okay with it. They're so disillusioned from the bigger picture here, which is a child who vanished from his home with zero signs, zero answer, zero anything. And instead it's about, well, this creator said this and this creator said that. And oh, look at this new whack job on the scene and this. Because at the end of the day, it's simply to keep the content going. That's it. And honestly, in a way, we're doing them all a favor because every time we acknowledge the ridiculousness of that night, the ridiculousness of Nick, all of it, it just feeds them. They're trolls. This is what they want, in my opinion. It keeps their name going. It's all for publicity.
Yeah, and that's another reason. I mean, and again, this is just all my opinion, that I feel and I hope that Betty goes to jail and pays for what she has done, because she is one of the biggest creators of all of this disinformation.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, she's, part of the greed team. That's what she's here to do.
Yeah. And, if an example is made out of her, then, that could lead to other things. I mean, they didn't just arrest Betty because she was out there getting footage. Betty created this mess for herself. She was the crazy lunatic that ran up on somebody's car. Who does that?
But unfortunately, those that support her don't see it that way. So either way, she gets arrested. Yeah, sure, people that dislike her are going to be like, ha. But it's not really going to teach a lesson to anybody because those that support her feel like it was unjust.
Well, but I think if she does some time, those supporters are gonna kind of, in a way, I mean, not like 100%, but kind of in a way, like, forget about her, and the nonsense that she's done.
Maybe, I don't know. I feel like it just makes her, in her mind and their minds, a martyr. I mean, when you have, a FBI agent saying, and I got to give you credit for risking your freedom. It's a joke. It's all a joke. This entire thing has become a laughing fucking stock.
Well, and that's what I said. I couldn't even watch that live that Jennifer did because, I heard the part about, where she said he looked malnourished and all this and that. And I just thought, this is coming from a former FBI agent. Like, what the F is she talking about? And why is she saying this stuff? And then, so I couldn't even watch it because I'm just like, no way.
I don't even tune into any of them anymore. Matter of fact, I feel like if everybody stops showing these type of people, it would lesser their impact, if you will. I mean, some of these people look at Crime Time Buzz. She grew tremendously from people calling her out. It has the opposite effect. I don't know, if we're trying to silence their voices or correct their misinformation, why guide more people towards them? I'll never understand it. She is ignorant. She's always been ignorant. Look how much she's gotten wrong in previous cases.
Yeah, just like I said, the little bit that I watched of that last thing that she did, I was like, and I'm not even subscribed to her, and I was like, what the F is this? What is she saying? No way.
Well, the one before that was even worse when she sat there and accused, without saying his name, but she accused Chris Proudfoot of threatening to RAPE people by reading off a text she received. She was smart enough not to say his name, but she implied it. I mean, it's so disgusting.
I just think it's telling that you've got her coming out, saying the stuff that she did. And then, you've got Tony saying, well, I can text Jennifer right now and, see if she'll come up on this live. And, next thing you know, she does. And it's like,
right,
okay, this is where the information's coming from. And this is disgusting.
Right. Absolutely. That she's part of them.
Yeah.
If her child came back before Sebastian went missing, Nina filed a mercy hearing. That's true. She did. And Taj, don't forget, you never heard Chris say that. You heard Seth say it. You never heard Chris say that.
Say what? I missed it.
That the whole not wanting Sebastian around the stepsister.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even want to get into it because these people don't fucking want to think logically. They want to think emotionally, so I'm over it. Well, small town girl, I appreciate having you up, but I'm fucking exhausted.
Yeah, and like I said, I appreciate you having me up, and
I appreciate you coming up. It's a lot, girl. I'm over it.
It is, and like I said, I feel terrible that you're in all of this, and I hope and pray that it's all stopped, and it's all stopped soon. and that
Amen.
this stuff just cannot continue like it is, because it's not bringing Sebastian home. And if that's truly what his parents want, stop with all of this.
I agree.
So, but yes, thank you for having me let me come up, and I hope everyone has a great day today.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cough
Bye.
out for love about the famous Quentin Simon photo. I remember. She said it wasn't Quentin in the box, and it was. Absolutely, I remember. Yeah, Castor wouldn't be able to represent anybody at this point, even to be like a smartass, because he is, was named at some point. I don't know. I just love the fact that they're all triple, doubling, flying down. You're right, flight nurse. I do need to take a deep breath, but I'll tell you, anyway, there is some different cases I want to talk about coming up. I don't know about all of you, but I'm kind of like, I don't know. I just whatever. But there are other big things that are happening in this world. There are other missing kids. There's other horrific crimes that have taken place. There's amazing stories. I just heard about a 85-year-old woman that was had an intruder come in her house, tie her up to a chair to rob her. She took herself and the chair to her bedroom to get her gun and ended up shooting him. She laid handcuffed to the chair for 10 hours for her adult disabled son to wake up before she could even call 911, and she was shot several times. There's I'm so burned out from it. I am. I know I can't be the only one. I know many of you have to feel the same way. And it's like, if it's not appreciated, what is the point anymore? What is the point anymore? I know, smarty me. I feel like I'm just exhausted. There's just not much on top of everything in my real life, and then this litigation and the holidays and seasonal depression, all the things. It is now a chore to go live, and I hate that. I used to go live every morning on a schedule. I mean, the impact of all this succeeds like a one-up on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's like a ego contest on YouTube, a bunch of chest pounding, and for some of us, it's so much deeper, so much more. It's fucking sleepless nights. It's pimples popping up because you're so stressed out. It's fucking, it's more than I think people even comprehend, and it's kind of it gets dismissed based on the ridiculousness of everything, and it's it's so sad at the end of the day that there is a child in the middle of all of this. And I may not have always done things correctly, but I sure as fuck did not use this child in this way, and I shouldn't be in the predicament I'm in. It fucking blows my mind. Makes me sick. But I do appreciate all of you being here. If you haven't, please consider hitting a thumbs up. Hope all of you have a great Monday. If I don't see you before the new year, I wish you all a happy, healthy new year. And I will see you all shortly. Thank you for being here.